Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's early. It's early. We catching up though. We catching up though. We're gonna get back to all of our updates and all of that. Believe that, man. We're gonna take a little turn into pop culture though. Something needs to be cleared up, some clarity. We're about to get into it. I'm doing a quick thing right here. Yeah, the Breakfast Club. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I don't know if you've noticed the Breakfast Club is no longer, it's not even on YouTube now. I mean, they went over and they sold out to what's up with your freeze? They went out and they sold out to Netflix. I think Charlemagne got the big deal, and that show was in decline. Oh, I say for the last 6, 7 years, it's been really going. It's been going. It's no longer what it meant to be, and I think that's the key point. The monetary success came because of social media. Social media has expanded. You even see guys like Mace and Cameron. That's just social media. They're taking what they used to be 10 years ago, and they're able to squeeze money out of a name from years ago. All of these guys, right? That's social media. But and Netflix, on Breakfast Club, because they were one of the few shows. Really, they left the AM rate. They left the radio FM radio station and came to YouTube. And because they're a regional program, they're really just New York. They were able to broadcast them to a worldwide audience via YouTube. So the radio station became sort of everybody's station for a moment. For a moment, everybody was looking at Netflix for a moment. And Netflix, first of all, first thing you got to understand about Netflix is this. When you say urban and authentic, right, that is not necessarily going to be a financial endeavor. When you say urban authentic, right, that's Frankie Beverly, that's Maze. I'm not in no kind of way comparing the Breakfast Club to those people. I'm just simply saying that's never been a monetary advantage. It's always been you are for the people. You are going through it. It's the school teacher who works at the kids, the boys club, the boys and girls club, and on weekends and teaches English and tutors and never gets paid. But they're always there. Will you ever see them highlighted? No. But you know that they help the community. You know that they sacrifice themselves for the betterment of the community. The Breakfast Club was billed as an authentic urban example of the culture and where we stood, and they were covering the culture in ways that mainstream America never could even understood. That was the Breakfast Club. That was their whole niche. That was their whole lane. We're going to come into the media, and we're going to give you the real. We're going to give you that real off the streets, not ghetto, because we know they're not that, but that real flavor that you can't get on. You're not going to get on CNN. You're not going to get on CBS. You're not going to get on all these other programs. We got a African American program that's tailored to your needs, that's tailored to what you want and what you desire. And that's what the Breakfast Club was. And for a while, it had a niche. It was bringing in all your rappers. They even started to draw in politicians. And people were going to that show and they were putting out a position because that was a place for them to open up. And there was avenues that when you talk about the Oprahs, right? When you talk about Oprah Winfrey, Oprah wasn't that open to hip hop. And I don't know if she likes it, never liked it, stopped liking it. She was just not she was not a fan in the sense her show. And she also looked at her demographic. Oprah had a lot of white women. She was big, big, which is fine, which, Oprah Winfrey never came into the TV scene. Oprah started on the radio. Oprah was just a radio DJ, radio talk show host in Chicago, I believe, and then that got popular, and then somebody approached her about the TV show. Oprah's demographic was women, mostly women, and a lot of white women. Now, hip hop, right? Oprah being black people, a lot of them involved in hip hop. Oprah Winfrey was a platform. She was an opportunity. She didn't really feel that they fit in with her audience. So that just wasn't a place for them. Right. So Oprah, being Oprah, staying true to being Oprah, we see what that led to. I mean, the show's over or whatever in magazines. I don't know what she's doing now. She's a very wealthy person, but she never started out as someone who was trying to represent a particular group that was not represented. She was more or less the black woman with the huge crossover base, right? And she was jumping over obstacles from that perspective. When you look at the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne, Envy, what they were trying to give you is this black man, I don't know, Latin, urban black man, Latin man, and Angela Yee, being Angela Yee was a woman and a minority. They were trying to give you that perspective that was oftentimes completely overlooked. No one paid attention to it. But what they were able to do is because of YouTube and social media was growing. They were able to hop on the growth, and they were able to be the big fish in the small pond on YouTube. By them being Breakfast Club, by them being able to get in all of these artists, they were taking a format of an FM radio station, and they were one of the few to be able to do it. They were able to transfer their FM formatted radio station onto YouTube, have entertainment coming out of New York. It had the New York swag, and it was broadcast everywhere. So people would go to the Breakfast Club, catch up with this. Hey, did you see this? Did you see Jay-Z? Did you see this person? Did you see this? Did you see this person? They got a new album. They got a movie coming out. Hey, did you see Michael B. Jordan? He was on the Breakfast Club. And they would ask some different questions, and it was interesting. The questions were coming from a position. The questions were oriented from a position that normally that you wouldn't hear. When you talk about the MTVs and the BETs, they were different. They were not the same stations. They were different stations. They had different demographics. The people behind the scenes were different. The producers were different. The VJs were picked for other reasons. BET never had a Downtown Julie Brown. Downtown Julie Brown was an English chick on MTV. She was a black woman, a black English woman on MTV. She wasn't on BET. BET didn't have any English talent. They didn't have anything like that at all. They had more of an urban scene. You had the Donnie Simpsons. You had, for a moment, I'm trying to think if I can remember them. Their host came from a perspective of what they felt was entertaining to blacks. And that's why Charlemagne has made his mistake. Charlemagne has left the urban community with the Breakfast Club, which is essentially was the whole draw. The Breakfast Club's draw wasn't just those guys. It wasn't just Charlemagne, Envy, and Yee. We know she's not there now. Jess, which that's a whole different. That's another 2 hour, 3 hour stream. But it wasn't just that. It was the community that they brought. So it was reaching out to that community. People wanted to reach out to their demographic, the drive time Black urban community. That's why you went on the Breakfast Club. That's why you dealt with the Breakfast Club, because you want to reach that group. If I went on Sean Hannity, that's not the same audience as the audience who listens to Rock Nation. If I went on Sean Hannity advertising my book, and then I went on Cyrus Radio on Rock Nation, it's not the same group of people. It's two different groups of people. And that's what the Breakfast Club used to represent. Now they went to Netflix and they don't represent that anymore. They're on Netflix and they're I don't know what the numbers are like, but they have a completely different audience. And to many people, they've abandoned their urban audience. They've abandoned the loyal people and followers who would wake up and, hop on a YouTube and listen to the Breakfast Club. Going to Netflix, you got to have a membership. And then when you get on Netflix, when they give you that front screen, just think about it. I'm going to go and sign in on Netflix. Say I get the $7.99 account. And there's some good stuff over there, if that's what you want to do. But say I already got a Netflix account. So I go and I sign in. Well, guess what? All of a sudden, all those different programs are going to just pop up. All of those different programs are going to be layered up in front of you. And you may go over there because of the Breakfast Club, but that's not what you're going to look at. You're going to stay and look at the Tyler Perry, and there's Michael Epps, and there's Cat Williams, and there's Kevin Hart. He just did an exclusive for Netflix. Oh, and there's a documentary about Mike Tyson. Oh, what about the Diddy thing? Oh, and they know that. And they know that. That's why they want you to come. And let me tell you something. And Charlemagne, he doesn't know. And this is what it really is. He doesn't understand marketing. Look, you'll take what Netflix says, we'll pay for the exclusive rights to the Breakfast Club just to take them from YouTube, because we're competing against YouTube. And we'll take a major podcaster from them, bring them to our pod, not to say that they're going to be successful on our platform, but to bring them here, offer them free if you already got a subscription, but also try to get that urban audience over to Netflix so they can take a look at what we have. We have a lot of Black, and they do. They do. I think they build themselves as the largest streaming site. They have the largest African-American material. I think that's how they do it. Now, take the money and run. Yeah, a lot of people would. A lot of people would take the money and run. A lot of people would hop on that, take the money and run, and not think twice. Where Breakfast Club is hurting in the sense they got the money. They don't have their audience. They don't have the audience that's grown with them for 10 years. They don't have that uniqueness, that independence. They no longer have that. And now it's literally going to work now. And they're going to find out that's not as easy to do as it used to be. It used to be fun. Now it's work. They got to win over this new audience, these new people. And Netflix is not that urban. Yeah, they got Black movies, but they're not offering a movie. They're offering a radio show. Where's the audience for that? Really, you really think there's an audience on Netflix for an urban radio show? It's not. Have you seen some of the material over there? The thousands of Michael Epps comedy shows. Are you serious? Cat Williams 1,000 times. I mean, how many people have watched Cat Williams? I'm serious. I'm being for real. I've never watched. I know it's over there. I've never watched the whole. I've watched some of it. Watched some of the eps. I see it's 15 different specials. Are you think I would watch that? I wouldn't. I just simply don't have the interest. But clearly, somebody watches it. They pay him to do it. But no, the Netflix. Charlemagne messed this one up. We get it. The money. Why you did it for the money. But that's a mistake. And in the process, I think you killed the Breakfast Club. If it returns, it'll never be the same. Should have never left YouTube. It belonged on YouTube. This is not, you're not going to be able to transfer that audience to Netflix. You have to understand that. This is, when you talk black, we still live in the days where black is black. We still live in that days when, Al Green, Al Green is never going to be running around here with awards. That's not what he is. Teddy Pendergrass. Like I talked about Johnny Taylor, just because the people in the audience, they don't know who that is. I mean, the black people know who it is, but he's not crossover. Just because if you're in the black community and you go to a lounge, if you go to some type of dentist, especially if it's a diversified crowd, if it's all ages, they're gonna play that song. You wouldn't understand it if you don't understand the culture, the community. What people don't understand about the community is they conflate the culture with the community. Black culture, you talk about hip hop, you got hip hop culture. That's not necessarily black culture. The white supremacists and the bigots, they conflate both. The anti-black clowns, they're going to conflate black culture and the black community. They're two different things. My grandma never listened to hip hop. My grandma was the black community. You want to put that on her? Black culture? The value system of NBA Youngboy? That goes to, no, you can't put that on them. That's a different world. And they're failing. And they went over with that program, and there's really no desire for an urban radio podcast on Netflix. He says Joe and Jada. The fact that Joe and Jada has popularity shows you those are not real hip hop fans. That's proof now. Then you're talking about money, that's different. If you say make money, okay, that's what they're trying to do. But you got to understand the thing about black and being black is being authentic and being real. That's one of the most important things. We're not the white community and the white, they are what they are. We're talking about the black community. It's real big amongst black people to be real, to be authentic. And by him taking that deal, and he was really, really, to a certain degree, losing a lot of people because of all the politicians. They were trying to be talk show people. They're not really talk show people. They were really changing because of that. And now basically it's old tradition. They sold out. They went for the money, and in the process, they lost their audience. But they left a big void. I don't know who will be the next group. And there should be. People on YouTube should get together to take over that space. We tried to do something years ago. We had a good shot, but you know how that goes. We were doing pretty good, man. We had a good collection. But you know how that goes, right? You know how people are, right? And Charlemagne's whining, and he's upset that the people are not following him over there, and they're not going to follow him over there. If once you go through once you go and find your password, that's first thing I got to do. If I go to Netflix, A, I got to remember the email I use, and B, I got to find my password. But once I find my password, I'm not going to listen to the Breakfast Club. I'm going to go to other things. There's better content on there. And that's where they made their mistake. On YouTube, when you talk about what they're doing compared to other broadcast type radio station type podcasters, streamers. Breakfast Club for many fit an urban audience, and we could go over there and we could keep up with stuff. There might be something of interest. Maybe they had an interview 2 weeks ago. Maybe they had an interview yesterday. And maybe it was someone that you kept up with that you wanted to find out what's going on with. So they were good with that from that perspective. And they didn't have competition here. The other people were not even on their level. And they were the cool kids on YouTube, and they had that. They had mastered that. Now they're over there on YouTube, on Netflix, and Netflix is it's something else. It's like going to Zeus. I mean, Zeus is something else. What's her name? Jasmine Hernandez Cabaret. I mean, come on, are you serious, man? Would you look at that nonsense? And yeah, she's making money. More power to you. So that's what we've become now. But that used to be a big thing with us, the money. Used to be the money shouldn't make you give up your morals, give up your what you believe in. And the Jasmine, so what? You're making a lot of money. You're half naked, you're fighting, you're being ratchet and ghetto. But see, that's the way we've become, though. And that's what Breakfast Club, that's what they got lured into. They got lured into the money. And now they're looking bad because now they're lured, they've left YouTube and on Netflix, and they've lost their fan base. They have a new fan base, but those are not Breakfast Club people. And they know those people are not Breakfast Club people. And they're just hilarious and all of that. That's what I'm saying. They were a sinking ship to begin. And as far as getting all of these people, a lot of people are not going to go on there now because now they're on Netflix. And when you say the rappers, come on, once again, that's a different type of crowd. It's just a different crowd. You can't compare Cameron Mace. You can't compare $1 million worth of game. You can't compare the Drink Champs. Those are different audiences. Really, they couldn't compete with Netflix. Now, they were similar, but they were different, and it was perfect. Will one of those podcasts rise and take? It's possible. It's possible. It's certainly a void. And they're not the cool kids anymore. You got to look at that. You got to remember that. You got to remember, yeah, you want to do it for money. You'll get your money. But what about the entertainment part? That part you no longer want to do it because it's no fun. But you'll get your money. And that was a mistake. And it's flopping. It's flopping. I don't know what makes them think that Netflix would want to hear urban style radio show about, I don't know what they're talking about over there. I don't. And that's another thing. He lost his uniqueness. He's lost in the sauce over there. He's amongst a lot of people. There's other podcasters over on Netflix that are better than him. And that's where he made his mistake. He's not an MSNBC. He's not a Rachel Maddow. He's not, but that's what he's competing against. He's not a Keith Olbermann. He's not that. But that's the lane he's jumped in. And of course, they're not going to be competitive. Also, what makes you think, what's up with you, Joey? What makes you think that people want to take their time out to listen to those guys and Jess and her nonsense and her rants, her what is that? It was a mistake, man. And I'd say within 2 years, Netflix is probably going to bear. And that's another thing, competition. Netflix got them off the market. So Netflix didn't necessarily lose. Let's take from YouTube, our competitor. Let's bury their show and let's recreate a newer version and then take their demographic. That's called business. That's how business works. That's business. Addition by subtraction. You took the competition. Now you don't have to worry about creating a show and competing against them. You can create another show, and you still got a cosign that's not necessarily from them, but because you own the rights to them, you can then turn around and say this is the new Breakfast Club. And on this one, you can take a second look and say, let's put them back on YouTube. Let's give them back their YouTube rights. Now, how that works with Netflix, like I said, Netflix is trying to bring people there. And they should have never accepted that. They just said, we can do it, but we got to do both. But it probably was some money involved. And like I said, these are not business people. These people don't understand money. And every day a new podcast is created. Every day a new content creator takes off. They hit the algorithm. They're well received and they take off every day. Every day. This is not something different or unique. Every day. So the Breakfast Club is falling further behind. They're losing support. A lot of people like myself, I'm not going to go to. I haven't been on Netflix, and I think I got a membership. I got to find my password. It's they okay, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I'd rather go to Amazon Prime. I'm already signed in. They offer movies. I'll go and see what they got. Sometimes they have something I'm looking for. It's right there. As far as Netflix, I see it. Best in Black, they got Tyler Perry films. They got a lot of films over there, but I don't want to have to sign in. And I think the last time I was on Netflix was the Tyson fight. I tuned in for the Tyson fight. Haven't been back since. I saw all of the Cat Williams and all of the comedy, and I saw all that stuff over there. Exclusive movies. Not my thing, man. Not my thing. This was a mistake. They overestimated it. They're an urban Black podcast, and that was the whole point. You were bringing society something that you never rarely see. This Black urban creation. And you guys were supposed to be authentic. You guys were like the cool kids. You guys were not ghetto. You guys were like the middle class, the suburban Blacks who were having access to all the entertainers and all of the news, and you put your spin on it. Then you would go to the phones, and people felt comfortable calling you. It was enjoyable. But you sold out on that. You gave that up to go to Netflix. That's a different group. You're over there, you got viewership, but it's a different group. It's the same thing with TikTok. I don't know why people do it. They go over to TikTok and they're very popular in Pakistan. That's not your audience. They're very popular in South America. They're very popular in Saudi Arabia. No, you don't. That's not your audience. You still want to have your base audience. That's important. They come first. Now, if the other people want to listen and participate, yeah, but your base has to come first. But then again, why would I be, these people don't understand. They don't understand marketing and they don't understand money. And Charlamagne, yeah, you got your money, man, but you lost your fan base. You lost your support system. And you're trying to say that, this and that and this and that. But the truth is you should have never went to Netflix. That was dumb. You got off YouTube and it's growing bigger and bigger. Oh, Netflix is big. I'm telling you, that audience, not your audience. 380 million people. None of them are your audience. None of them are your audience. What difference does it make if they got 500 billion viewership? That's not your audience. You should have stayed. You messed up. And I don't think you can return back. He said, I never liked the Breakfast Club. Jess is not funny. She's super masculine and ultra negative. Yeah. She's a hood chick. She's real masculine. Rumors that the guy she's married to or whatever, she paid him. Yeah, bro, it's just you don't even want to. You do not want to go down that rabbit hole, brother. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole. And Charlemagne's losing a lot. He's not the same guy. They used to be rebels. When you look at the actual movie, which that's what they named it after, The Breakfast Club, the movie, it was about transitioning. It was about youth. It was about a coming of age. It was about decisions. What are we going to do now? It was about becoming from teenager to adult. The original movie, it was a detention, a bunch of kids in detention, and they were discovering each other. They knew of each other. They never knew each other, and they were attending the same school, and they were crossing over the suburban princess and the low-life guy, the nerds, the weird chicks. But they all were trying to grow and become. That's what the movie was about. That's what it was about. They were discovering, they were learning, and they were growing. And that's the classic song, Don't You Forget About Me, That's the shit there. And they were talking about each other. They were talking about how they were growing and they were learning, they were becoming. What's up with you, Miss Tiffany? It was a moment, and you guys wouldn't understand, but the movie is a classic, man. And Charlemagne named this after that. They're not rebels. You can't call it the Breakfast Club and you're no longer a rebel. You're status quo. You're bought and sold, man. You're mainstream. Breakfast Club was never meant to be made. They were not a bunch of suit and ties. That wasn't an academy. When you take a look at the Breakfast Club, the actual original movie, there wasn't a bunch of boys in a private school in uniforms. They were not an academy. They were not a machine. That wasn't Harvard. And that was the whole catch. That was the whole thing. It was the Breakfast Club. It was a group of misfits who were forced to sort of deal with each other. And it also examined how we do as a people, how we judge, and how we're elitist, and how we look down on people, and how we make fun of people. And that's what the guy put it together. He designed it perfectly. And if you haven't seen the original, which a lot of people haven't, you should go check it out. It's a really good film. And you got to listen. That's the type of movie you got to look at twice, because there's messages within the movie that you may miss. And in the end, they learned to come together, and they were ready to take on the world. They were ready to leave the teenage years and become adults and take on the world. That is what the Breakfast Club was about. Charlemagne lost that when he sold out. He went to Netflix. That ain't rebel. You can't be a rebel on Netflix. And then you're talking about your fan base. Yeah, they've abandoned you because you abandoned them. You got a fan base over there, but it's a Netflix fan base. If I'm a politician and I'm running for office, why would I go on the Breakfast Club? You guys got you're big in Pakistan. You got a following in El Salvador. You're huge in Africa. Why would I go on? They didn't realize that. They did not realize that. You don't need that, and you can't give up one without the other. Yeah, it was a great movie. It was a time for everybody to learn, and we learned. And that's when they made movies. And he dubbed, which I don't even understand why he dubbed that morning show, The Breakfast Club. I guess he was talking about it's early in the morning. But it had other meanings, and they were rebels and they were misfits. And I guess Charlemagne was trying to say that's what they were. That's not going to work on Netflix. You can't compete with the urban content there. You could compete with Zeus. If Zeus, you would have went to Zeus Network, Breakfast Club, Revolt. I think the Breakfast Club was on Revolt. Revolt, nobody even Revolt. Revolt TV. That stuff has been on satellite forever. I think I've watched Revolt twice. I've never watched that. Somebody told me that Drusky guy came from Revolt. I said, yep, he probably did because I never watched Revolt. Revolt is trash, but they have a website. You got to sign in to see it. They got a website, Revolt website. Said Jess was flirting with another YouTube comedian, Chico Bean, and he knew the person Jess was dating. Chico shot Jess down and Jess called. Yeah, of course she did. Well, that's Charlemagne. Charlemagne I don't know, have no idea why he decided to bring her on that platform. A, she don't have the look. B, she's not ready for radio like that. She doesn't bring to the table what you need to do it. And he keeps trying to blow it off. And see, that's what I'm saying. He's trying to lock in that urban Black female following. That ain't gonna work on Netflix. That's not on Netflix. He has to understand that. He wants to go mainstream. You got to go mainstream. You know, it's like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, he'll listen to a white guy that's lower tier, but that's not what he represents. They've become very fake now, man. And they're pretty much failing over there. Now, this whole come back to YouTube. No, thank you. They're gone. I think she's married now. I think she's got a baby, another kid, and I think she's married. And you can go look at it. Go look at the guy. It's ridiculous, man. Like I said, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole. You know, so many times men are criticized once they get a little money. They go after women that are not necessarily the best choice, and a little bit, you know, this is a criticism, out of their league. Women who would never date them if they didn't have money. Go take a look at Jess Hilarious. And for somebody to do that, and from a woman, I mean, that is weak. You're a female and you gotta pay men. That's weak. Allegedly, we don't know what she's doing, right? We heard she's married. We hope it works out for the both of them. Yeah, that's weak, man. And the club now, all of the rebelliousness that's gone. The urban, being authentically urban, that's gone. They're on Netflix. They're gone. They were paid off. And who wants to see a bunch of you got a urban audience, but you want to flex and stunt. Nobody wants to see your flexing and stunting and your excuse making. To some degree, Charlemagne's becoming a downtown type off-brand Stephen Smith. And people have called out Stephen Smith. They know that he's deliberately playing dumb, trying to support certain things and acting like he's on the side of this and on the side of that. And he's not. They know. And then he'll come out and make that distinction, but he's doing it because he's tiptoeing around running for president. And he pretty much stinks. I would say the whole urban community is suffering right now. If we was to go back, say 10 years ago, it was different. We had our own. But now we're becoming so meshed up that especially blacks are being overcome. They're what was distinctly, uniquely theirs is being bought out and being taken. And if that's what they want to go back to, where there's these deficits and there's this neglect, that's what's going to happen. The Breakfast Club, that no longer exists in the way that it used to. They switched up. They went for the pop class. They went for an audience that wasn't their original audience. And in the process, they lost their urban audience. They lost their urban audience when they switched up. And see, people like authentic things. You know, I want my Frankie Beverly Mays. I want him to make an album. I don't need Justin Timberlake on the album. He doesn't need to do a song with Justin Timberlake. You know, we've moved beyond that. There used to be a time. There used to be a time when we accepted that what we were into wasn't going to be popular, wasn't going to make a lot of money, but we was going to be happy. The black community, we like, you know, Lester's pool hall. Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of people in there. It was never going to be a popular place, but we fit in there, and that meant something to us. You know, we liked the camaraderie. We liked the Lester's pool hall. There was a sports bar there. There was a cheeseburger. There was a place to eat. We knew the waitress. We knew the owner. We felt at home there. We've gotten away from that now. This social media and all of this, we want to go mainstream. Oh, you want to go downtown to Hooters, and you go downtown to Hooters and nobody knows you. You're just another face in the crowd. All of it, what you used to get at Lester's little place, used to walk there. You just leave the house, get away from the fam for a minute, go hang out for a couple of hours, watch a baseball game. That used to exist, and we used to have that. We still have that. I'm saying that was the Breakfast Club. That's what they used to be. By going on Netflix, they become just like you went down. You're at Hooters now, and you're just another face in the crowd. You don't know the people there. They don't know you. As soon as you leave, somebody will take your place. There's no camaraderie. Yeah, you can get the basics, but you can no longer get the interaction that you long for. And that's what happened with the Breakfast Club. They left us. They left the community, and now Charlemagne's whining and complaining. And he's still trying to get people to come down. He also said, with something the dumbest, which I'm not surprised, he made a statement about advertising. You only advertise it when you're down or something like that. He said if they advertise where they are, and that sounds like something he learned about in the hood. That sounds ghetto. You only advertise when you're doing bad. I was like, huh? Where'd you hear that? That sounds like something right up out of the ghetto. Okay, well, let them find you, brother. They're going to find you. They'll find you there. And their audience is revolting and quite upset, you know. Now, we're not going to play that over here, but you can find a lot of the videos on TikTok. A lot of people just expressing themselves that they'll never go to Netflix, and that by them leaving YouTube, they made a mistake that they'll never recover from. They're supposed to be an authentic urban group. And that's the whole point. They didn't stand on it. You know, as they say, stand on business. They didn't stand on business. They should have accepted, hey, we're the Breakfast Club. Yeah, we could get more money on Netflix. Yeah, we could get more money if we did this, but we would have to change and things would change. And that's when they made their mistake. They should have stood on, no, we're on YouTube, we're on iHeart, and we're going to continue to do it this way. Yeah, they made a bad deal, and they're paying for it now. And they also the name. And I've always struggled with that name because I'm very familiar with the movie. And Tiffany, you're familiar with the movie. There's nothing like the movie. Now, I get it if you want to say a euphemism of being a rebel and misfits. Okay, okay, I could see that. I could see that. I could see that. And that would sort of make sense with the Jesselaires, but still, they have to be able, they need to have talent. And I think by bringing in a Jess and a Envy, I don't think you get talent from those guys. I'm not saying that Charlemagne's all the talent. I don't think he has much talent. But I get but from the perspective, it was a plus when they were on YouTube because we had low expectations of them. We pretty much knew they didn't know anything. We knew they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know anything. The show was pretty much was going to be what it is. You know, it was going to bring people in. They were going to ask questions that were a little bit off the beaten path. And then they would leave. And that was the Breakfast Club. And they had their donkey of the day and they had all of that foolishness. But now they're on Netflix. That's not going to work on Netflix. That type of lowbrow, fake, that's not going to work. A quarter spoon. A quarter spoon. Charlemagne said, he asked him if he ever sold, which is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous question to ask someone. Yeah, and that's Damian Dash. Damian Dash asked him if he ever did things, and Charlemagne said, yeah. And he said a quarter spoon. He said, that was funny. Isn't that something? The black man's resume, he has to say that he was somehow kind of way involved with narcotics. Ain't that? No, I'm just saying he should have never answered that. It's a stupid, ridiculous question to ask a grown man. And he answered the question. I said, why would you? And he made a fool out of himself answering that question. And then he's running over there to Netflix. You think they want a bunch of quarter spoon individuals on Netflix? They don't want to hear that mess. But then again, from a Netflix standpoint, it was brilliant. You take the content, now it's yours, and you hurt your competitor. And all they did, they left a deficit. They left a huge hole on YouTube that eventually is going to be filled. I don't know who's going to fill it. It's sort of like the Kevin Samuels, who I said was going to be way better than the social media. Kevin was going to be probably in movies now. By now, he probably would have been doing movies. He certainly would have done stuff with Tyler Perry. You know, he was headed that way. But when he passed away, rest in peace to the brother, he left a huge deficit that we see these clowns, the Antons, the Judge Pearl, these clowns, they can't fill that man's shoes. It's absurd to even say something like that. And so his void still remains. So does this Breakfast Club to some degree. The problem with the Breakfast Club is being authentic. It's not that they can't be replaced. They can. But it's going to have to be with some real people. It's going to have to be with some people still urban, regular smegglers. It's going to have to be like postal workers, not washed up rappers, regular people, still connected. Those people, it's an opportunity. It's a chance. And it's an opening. It's an opening. I got you. It's an opening and an opportunity for a lot of people, man. But now Charlemagne's complaining about it, man. Hey, you moved, you went there. You shouldn't have went there. This is what happens when you don't understand marketing. This is what happens when you just jump off the porch and you just assume people are going to follow you. That's not true. If you got people who stream on YouTube, you got people who stream on TikTok, you got people who stream on Rumble. There are different audiences on all three of those platforms. You got people who are tremendous on Rumble. On Rumble, their channel is huge, but their channel's not huge on YouTube. They're different audiences. And we're going to start streaming on Rumble too. The TikTok, I doubt it. It's a different crowd. TikTok's more worldwide. TikTok's Chinese. It's just a different type of platform. Algorithms are different. It's different. It's very different. Like the stream, man. You agree with me, man. Tell me what you think about this Breakfast Club. Charlamagne has come out and said that the fans have, to a certain degree, abandoned him, and they're not giving him a shot. They're not coming over to Netflix. He doesn't understand we consume the content that we want to consume. We don't consume the content because he thinks we should. He doesn't understand that. And he doesn't want to understand that. What's up with you, Joey?
What up, Platt? Top of the morning.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with you saying, Platt. They should have took their time to take the content over there to Netflix. But Charlamagne, they was looking at that bag. Most of these people today, you think they really getting it. Nah. And the Breakfast Club been around for a minute. What, 14, 15 years? He probably looking at it now like, man, we got to figure out some way to get this money real quick.
No, he got the money. In the process, both they lost their audience. So now they actually got to go to work. It's not the same. Yeah, it's one thing to want to go to work and you get paid. It's another thing it's just like a entertainer. When you look at Frankie Beverly, I know that's a Philadelphia guy, right? Frankie Beverly.
Yep.
You look at him. Frankie. You know what? He wasn't worried about being number one on billboards.
No, he wasn't.
You know what he did though? He knew that when he did those picnics in the summer, that was going to have a large turnout, and he enjoyed making music, and they enjoyed listening to him. And he looked at that. That's far more better than me saying, "Oh, you want me to go out here and do songs with Justin Timberlake? Let me do a song with Nickelback." And then he wouldn't enjoy what he was doing. Yeah, he'd make money, but that's not him. He stayed true to his craft. And that's what I think Charlamagne doesn't understand. You abandon your audience, brother. You keep talking about this money stuff. You went from being a cool kid, a rebel, to just another podcast on Netflix.
He's trying to take over that realm of the media, the content, and all that. Kind of like Joe Rogan and them. But
he's not smart enough as Joe Rogan. He's not. That's a completely different audience.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And I listen to Joe Rogan. Charlamagne's slapstick. I don't want to say low IQ Negro type, but
I'm not gonna say that, brother.
I don't want to say that
going way too far now.
I don't want to say that either, Platt, because he do sometimes bring in politicians. And
just because you're not as smart as Joe Rogan or Neil Tyson.
I don't think that Charlamagne.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Just because you're not as smart as those men, don't mean you have a low IQ.
No. I'm talking about the content that he does. It's not so much of because it's
always been this way though, Joey. His content, it's been what he's been doing with hip hop.
No, but he started to get into the politics and with Kamala and all that stuff. And I like Charlamagne, even the show with the Brilliant Idiots where he got with the white guy he be with. I listen to their content. It got buffoonery, but he also got some insightful things and put out good information.
Now,
Charlamagne is not a dummy. He is a smart guy.
Well, no, if you go and look at their last broadcast, they talked about going to Netflix and The white guy was telling Charlemagne he fucked up. He was trying to say it without saying it. Charlemagne was trying to beat around the bush, but he was trying to tell him without telling him, "Hey man, you should have never went to Netflix, and you got to understand it's a different audience." And he's right. That's the thing. Somebody said they saw Frankie Beverly at the Spectrum in Philly.
Oh man, the Spectrum, yeah, that's way
Yeah,
back in the day.
that's what. She said she saw him there. So when you talk about Frankie Beverly said, "Hey, yeah, I could go out here and do a song with I'm trying to think of a group, the New Kids on the Block.
Uh-huh.
Let me do a couple of songs with New Kids on the Block and introduce their audience and my audience to them, their audience to me." He could have done that, right? But the
Yeah.
problem when people do that, and it's happened before, is a lot of times one group will lose their audience because one group's audience don't care, don't want to hear that. They don't care. If I want to listen to Frankie Beverly, I go buy some Frankie Beverly. If I want to listen to some new Kids on the Block or whatever new what is it? What was that shit that Justin Timberlake was in?
In Sync.
Okay, In Sync. And what was the other one? New Kids on the Block. Was that it?
It was Backstreet Boys. It
Backstreet Boys.
was,
Thank you. That's what I meant. Backstreet Boys.
yeah.
If I want to listen to some
You said
Backstreet
New Kids
Boys,
on the
I'll
Block.
listen.
I'm like, damn, play, you taking it way
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
You
If I
got the
want
right
to listen,
stuff.
if I want to listen to some Backstreet Boys, I listen to Backstreet Boys. If I want to listen to Frankie Beverly, listen to Frankie Beverly. So, and that's why radio is set up with genres, right? You want to hear some rock? That's rock. You want to hear some country? That's country. You want to hear some soul? That's soul. So that's what I mean. Charlemagne's trying to take what they offer and offer it to Netflix. He doesn't understand what he brings as far as a podcast to Netflix. That was stupid. Now he got his money, but that's never going to work over there because that's a different universe. That's a different world. That's not New York. That's Netflix. You was the big fish on YouTube. You had a history with YouTube. You were actually, I'm looking at all the part. Who else was rivaling Breakfast Club on YouTube? I'm trying to think who. No, remember, this is urban. Remember who?
They only was in competition with Hot 97, but you see how that even crumbled. Like they out here.
Sway in the morning.
Sway in the morning, but that's a small little niche of people too. Tom Joyner, them guys on the radio, but the Breakfast Club had it popping on YouTube. They shouldn't have left. They shouldn't have left.
They did it for the money, and the thing about it is you lost influence. You got the bread, but you lost influence, and that's where you made your big mistake because you could have you could have had your finger, you did have your finger on the pulse of America or Black America. You lost that. Why would I go on the Breakfast Club on Netflix? Your audience is mostly Africans and Koreans. You're no longer urban America. You've lost that. You're on Netflix now. You got you're over there on Netflix going by a bunch of people who are not your demographic. Why would I want to? Why is Michael B. Jordan? I'm promoting my next movie. I'm not going on Netflix. Their demographic is mostly Koreans and El Salvadorians. You want to be right there on YouTube with that urban demographic. People can dial you up, listen to you in the morning, listen to you going to work, listen to you at work, and they're used to you and they're familiar with you. You lost that. That was stupid to go to Netflix. And the Jess hilarious. Come on, man. People still dealt with you with that. That wasn't even a good hire. Now the Lauren Lorenzo, if that's her name, that was a good hire.
Yeah, I like the Lauren Lorenzo, whoever her name was.
Yeah, she fit in. But the Jess, she don't even fit in. Jess been yelling, and as soon as you fire Jess, she's gonna do what all of these people do. She's gonna start extreming against you. Just a matter of time. And Charlemagne knows that.
She was doing it when she was going against the chick. And it was like, shorty, she doing a good job. Y'all can all vibe together and do what you do. Like, Jess Hilarious supposed to be the comedian. And the Lord, she came from TMZ. She got the information and she read the stuff
They
good.
don't need a comedian. They don't need Jess. And Jess has her own type of sense of humor that a lot of people don't find that stuff funny. The Joe Budden podcast, right?
Yeah.
There you go. You can say that was the closest thing. Okay, Joe is a Patreon guy. He's on. Yeah, not my thing though. I could not think of a worse collection of personalities. Joe Budden's. But then again, let me tell you something about Joe Budden's. When I look at that, I look at him. I look at those people. And now I like Mark Lamont Hill. I do. Before he even went on there, I'm a fan of Mark. I'm a fan of Mark Lamont Hill. I like Mark.
Mark, my guy. He's
I think he's a very, very smart guy. I don't think now, as far as cool and sweat, no, but he's a very smart. He's a smart guy. I like the fact that he's a smart dude. And I'm not gonna call him a nerd or nothing like that.
Nah, he's a cool dude.
He's just a cool, smart dude, right? Mark Lamont Hill, and this is okay. Before this Joe Budden stuff, Mark Lamont Hill is the type of guy. If I was in a community, if I was running around a community, if I was at a college, if I was at, the military, or if I was working, that's the type of guy who I would befriend. Those are the type of guys. I don't get all of the thugs and all. I don't want to befriend those guys. Mark Lamont Hill, he's a cool dude. So now him going on Joe Budden, I give it. Okay, I don't think he fits in over there, but okay, I grant you, Joe did good to bring him there. But the rest of them guys, man, and even Joe, I don't know what that is.
Why you keep saying that?
I don't know what that is. Joe Budden, I don't know what that is. I mean, those are not a collection of people that I don't think they fit. I don't get it. But that's Joe's thing. And I say, okay, it's okay because that's Joe. That's what Joe did. He did that same thing with Melissa Ford. He brought her in there. I'm like, Melissa don't even fit it, but they brought her in there, and that's Joe. But I mean, but he's not really on YouTube like that, or is he? I don't think Joe Budden's not.
He put his whole. He puts it on Patreon first, and then he puts it on YouTube. It's smart. That's what Charlamagne them should have did. That way, put a little bit on Netflix, and then put it on YouTube. Because you see, Joe Budden is not. See, he's more smart as a businessman. I can't lie. You can say anything. I don't really care for Joe Budden as much, but as a businessman and the way how he operates, he's smart. He needs his foot in every print when it comes to the social media.
But see,
even on TikToks.
You could lose the community doing that. I get what you're saying.
But Platt, he's still contributing to the community because he's not just on. He's not just with Patreon. He's still on YouTube. He still put all his uploads on his Joe Budden podcast, which he started right here on YouTube.
He's not my thing. That's the whole thing. That's what
I understand.
He might be your thing, which is fine. We're different. We're not all the same.
People listen to Joe Budden for hip hop commentary.
But he doesn't have a lot of urban listeners.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. He got a lot of white boys.
Come on, Platt. Come on.
He got a lot of those. No, he's got a lot of those skateboarders.
Platt.
He's got the white guys.
All right.
The Eminem crowd. That's what Joe Budden is. Joe Budden's a part of that shady, isn't he? A part of the Eminem crowd.
He was with. They had their own little group. Yes, but that was a long.
What they call themselves?
Slaughterhouse.
Oh, come on. Yeah, he's Slaughterhouse. No wonder.
Come on, Platt.
No wonder. I don't even keep up with him like that. But
yeah, you don't.
Yeah, I didn't mess with no damn Slaughterhouse, man.
I'm talking about the podcast.
As far as Eminem, I went Death Row. That's it. I messed with Eminem and when he was messing around with Dre. That's it. I didn't follow that fucking man in no Slaughterhouse. What kind of shit? I don't listen to no bullshit like that.
Oh, God, Platt. Just getting the punching on Joe Budden. I approve of it.
Joe Budden, Slaughterhouse. He got a bunch of white boys now.
I'm talking about the podcast.
Joy,
the podcast
Joy. Come on now, you tripping, man.
He got the chick from my city, Mona. That you can't get no more urban than that. Mona is ghetto. That is a ghetto.
She ghetto, but she ain't.
That's a ghetto Philly chick. You can't.
She wanna be though. She wanna be.
Got my man Mark, also from Philly. Got boy, what's his name? I forgot his name. He's an R&B dude. Ice and the other guy that always complaining. Like that's an urban platform. They talk about urban.
No, they're not.
They talk about if you look
No, they're
on
not.
you look on the Joe Budden page, they talk about 50
Joe
Cent
Budden, the black
and
community.
T.I.
Hold up, the
Go ahead.
black community has never embraced Joe Budden.
Oh,
Joe
come on,
Budden
Platt. Cut
is
it out.
still going. Joe Budden is popular in the Eminem Slaughterhouse, and they were always Slaughterhouse were always considered a bunch of white boys. They were considered a bunch of wannabe white dudes. They were not considered authentic urban musicians. None of them. None of them.
Oh, come on.
And look, look. Rest in peace to
Voice
Proof.
of 5'9".
Rest
That,
in
no,
peace.
he wasn't.
He wasn't either. Rest in peace to Proof or whatever. Whatever the D12 was. It D12?
Yeah, that's Slaughterhouse and D12.
Purple Pills. Purple Pills.
That's two different groups, Platt. Slaughterhouse.
No, I'm talking about that one group. That was Eminem's group.
Yeah. Slaughterhouse was a collective of MCs.
I don't even bring up Slaughterhouse. That's something I really didn't even listen to. But if I did listen to anything that Eminem put out, it was D12, and the Proof guy unfortunately lost.
That's white boy skater music.
What, Purple Pills?
Yeah, all that.
No, it's
drug music and white boys going crazy, don't like their moms. Like, what you talking about, Platt? Slaughterhouse was MCs rapping. D12 was goofy to me. They had a couple good songs, but come on. Fat dude with his belly all out. Like, come on, Platt. We ain't gonna compare Joe. Joe Budden is arguably one of the top MCs that you could put in the industry.
Joey.
Like, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't
you'll
gonna throw no dirt
word.
on his name.
You're right. You'll get the last
Joe
word.
Budden. Joe Budden, I'm
about to lose my temper, but that's go ahead.
But Platt,
you come up here talking crazy. That man said Joe Budden is almost called him the greatest MC. Are you joking?
I ain't say the greatest. I say he's one of the top elite MCs.
No, he's not. Joe Budden is Joe Budden hopped in on podcasting early. Right. Beyond that, Joe Budden stinks. And slowly people are realizing that.
Joe Budden
and he's not really good. Look, let me tell you something. The Mark Lamont Hill, Mark is really too smart for his crowd. For his crowd, he's really too smart for his crowd.
What you mean?
He's just too smart for the people. Joe is a suburban dude that probably used to come to the hood, probably had a cousin in the hood. So he's sort of a little urban or a little bit. But Mark is really too smart for that crowd. They got a lot of dumb people down there.
Hey, Platt, you sound like that chick that was actually saying the same thing about Mark Lamont being on Joe Pod. I don't feel like that. Especially in the black community. We all together. We don't.
No.
You got smarty people be with the hood people.
Listen to me, brother. He don't belong. Look, I'm happy for Mark. I know he got his own channel. And that's a good look for him to be on Joe. And I see him trying to get along with Joe a little bit.
But I feel like he shouldn't be here.
But I don't. I don't think. I think that's the word. I don't think he fits in there. I think that's I just don't. He doesn't belong there. Maybe. You know what he needs to do? I'm gonna tell you what he needs to do, because I was saying the Breakfast Club went to Netflix. What they need to do is create a new Breakfast Club. Let me tell you what they need to do. Take Mark Lamont Hill. He can take Charlemagne's old spot. Take Brorilla. She can be the new Jess. And for Envy, I'm looking around here. I think they need to take one of these YouTubers. Take a YouTuber that's over 1 million followers that has a personality. Add them, and that's your new Breakfast Club. That's your new Breakfast Club. That's what I think they should do. I would take Mark Lamont Hill, Glorilla, all that nonsense. She's gay. Glorilla, yeah.
Sister?
Yes.
Plus, she can barely correlate a sentence.
Stick her where do you think Jess? What's the difference? You wouldn't even know the difference. Put Glorilla up where Jess Hilarious is. Put Mark down where Charlemagne is. I think he'll be a better Charlemagne than Charlemagne. And then you take one of these YouTubers that's, and there's a bunch of them. You take one of these YouTubers, you put them next to that, and you have a new Breakfast Club. And I think within a year they'll be doing way better numbers.
You just want to split them all up, just out with the old and then with the new, I guess. Charlemagne didn't get rid of Envy. Envy staying.
Good. They can stay on Netflix.
I guess so.
Go down there to what was it? 95 South. What's the guy that was
95
on?
South Show.
Yeah, what's the
Chico
guy?
Bean and DC Young Fly.
Yeah,
And Carlos.
take Young Fly. Or no. Take the actor. What's the dude that's the actor? Put him up there. That'd be perfect.
What actor?
No, one of them's an actor.
I don't know.
He was in. One of them is an actor. I've seen him in. He was in Get Out.
Oh, that's I know you talking about Platt. That's not him. That's a whole different person.
Yes, he is. Yes,
the guy from Get Out that was the security guard.
The guy from Get Out, not him, not the security guard. The guy that was in the movie, the one that the classic scene where he reaches over at the guy and grabs the guy. That guy's an actor. That guy's on 95. He's down there on 95 South.
Oh, I ain't know that. I ain't know he was on that show. But yeah, I know you talking about now. He took the picture and he snapped out and he grabbed it. Yeah, but I ain't know that. But no, I just think they just need to incorporate and go back on YouTube, put their content. You can't just switch up like that on your audience and just think they just going to maneuver on the Netflix. Because I went on Netflix and I seen them there and I'm just like, I can't watch The Breakfast Club on Netflix. It just don't feel the same. YouTube, you click on there, get to watch. Netflix, to me, movies, documentaries. You get what I'm saying? Little kiddie flicks. Your kids want to watch whatever they want to watch. Breakfast Club, and I seen Jada and Joe, Fat Joe on there now.
But see, that's the whole point. And this is the proof that Netflix is a clown show.
Why is that?
The fact that Jada and Joe, and we know they're being paid. The fact that Jada and Joe is popular on Netflix tells you, A, they don't know anything about hip hop. That tells you the people over there know absolutely nothing about hip hop. A, they're listening to Fat Joe's almost 60. Do you guys realize that? Fat Joe's walking around there with sneakers. He's almost 60 years old.
His eyes is damn near, one is open, the other one is halfway. Like, then he had a stroke or something. Like, yeah, then he always lying.
You gotta let it go, man. Yeah, you gotta let the hip hop go, man. It was a nice run, but it all things in, and yeah, but I'm just telling you, the fact that the Netflix people will watch that tells you that audience is a weird audience. It has a worldwide audience, a bunch of your demographics, your
You think
your
so,
demographics is going to be different on that spot. It's going to change. So I wouldn't. Once you have your demographic, you should stay in it. And like I said, I'm going back to look at Loretta Devine. Look at Loretta Devine. Even though she does, Loretta Devine does work for HBO. She does work for Lifetime. She does. I think she has a recurring role on like NBC, one of the shows. She does work for mainstream traditional networks. Okay, I want to establish that. But Loretta Devine has never chased that. She's very content making, doing her work for a mostly Black audience. She doesn't complain about that. She's like, okay, I'll play this role in this film. Loretta Devine. People know that. You can watch BET and she'll be damn near in every movie. She'll be the mom in every movie. You said, damn, they're going to Loretta. There's Loretta there. There's Loretta there. There's Loretta. So she's managed to get an entire career doing that. Now, there used to be a thing about a lot of people don't have a problem with that. And I think that's what Charlemagne made his mistake, because Charlemagne is the Loretta Devine of talk radio or talk. The world of talk communications, podcasting. He's the Loretta Devine of podcasting.
Damn, Platt.
No, that's what. No, he's not meant to move out, to blossom out. He's meant to stay right where he is. He's meant to stay in that little slither, and that's where he lives. Him, Envy, and Jess doesn't even fit in that, but he fits in that. And for him to try to
a question.
For him to try to expand that was a mistake. Yeah, go ahead, please, Pop.
No, I wanted to ask y'all a question. Hey, good morning to both of y'all, Joey and Platt.
What's up,
Hey,
Freeze?
I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think that the Breakfast Club has basically hit its ceiling in the black community?
I kind of was trying to say that to Platt. Like, I
Okay.
think they did
Yeah.
hit their ceiling, bro.
Okay.
At
But
the
they
Dame
changed.
Dash, I
But no,
think
no,
that was
no.
it.
They changed though. No, no. The Breakfast Club changed.
Yeah, they did change.
Yeah. So that's their fault. They changed. The people haven't changed.
Charlemagne want to do the mental health now after he done almost got canceled because you know that nasty case from back in the day, and he done said some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why he had to pivot and change, but yeah, after that, I think after that Dame Dash interview, Platt, it kind of changed the whole dynamic how you look at the Breakfast Club. Because as much as I don't really even care for Dame, he did make some good points. Like all y'all do is just go at Saint black people and tear us down.
Yeah,
Like
but well they do, but then again, Dash, it's over for him. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the guy he hung out with, the guy he started with, that guy is a billionaire. That guy is influential. That guy probably got the NFL probably pays Jay-Z, I'd say 100 mil a year just to do that, just for him to be in charge, to have his opinion on what they should do. He's not the final say on anything, but just because he recommends this and that, and they make money. Look, with the bad body. What is that guy named? Bad?
Bad Bunny.
The Bad Bunny thing. They've had the ratings. That was the highest ratings ever for that Super Bowl. In addition, in a sense, to the game, even though the game was pretty much over, they enjoyed the high rate. Lots of money. NFL once again. At the end of the day, the amount of revenue money they made, the amount of interest, and the halftime. That's what they wanted. Jay-Z probably gets 100 plus a year to do that, just to do that. In addition to him being, that's the NFL. He works for the NFL. So free games, press boxes, all of that, his whole family, all of that. It meets all of the team, any of them, all of them. Jay-Z can anything. And Damian Dash used to be his homeboy. Now Damian Dash is broke. He's hating.
His teeth lost his teeth.
Yeah, his suits are real baggy.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's fat.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's losing, man. Well, I don't know what's wrong. We have a problem when we come up short, man. We do.
No, I think that with Dame, with most black men play, like I always been saying up here, he's just stuck in the Arrested Development. Like just he can't get out of being that nigga on the block in Harlem. You get what I'm saying? And he's been a multi-millionaire. Dame ran through a lot of money. You get what I'm saying? And financial literacy was one of the main things he used to preach. But then at the same time, he wasn't living by it. Buying, oh, I don't wear the same sneakers more than twice, and I pop tags and all the nigga stuff. And it was like, damn, Dame, you could have been bigger than Jay-Z.
Hold up for a minute. Let me correct this guy. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. We get people in the chat box and they're talking crazy. Here you go, brother. FBA convo. Hey, FBA convo. When you gonna speak on the Ayatollah saying he wants reparations to surrender? I haven't heard anything coming out there. I did a stream on it. I haven't heard anything. Where you at, the FBA convo? Let me know how you feel like Iranians getting reparations over black people.
That's what he said.
That's what's going to happen.
Hey,
You think Iranians should get, the Jews are going to get, they're going to, after this war, damn well they're going to give Jews reparations and they're going to give Iranians reparations. They're going to rebuild both of those civilizations. They're going to rebuild both of those.
I agree, Platt. Yeah.
And black people have been wanting that and they're not going to get anything. I'm just wondering how come they haven't said anything. I said something about it. There you go, right there, brother.
I feel you.
There you go. Goodbye, brother. There you go. What you always do. You like the females, brother.
Oh man,
There you
Pan
go.
African space.
Yeah. When did we become Pan Africans? Because we don't agree with him. Ain't that something?
This is wild. Dang, Platt, you got them over here too?
I'm FBA.
Yeah.
I don't understand them though. You know, I don't understand the way they talk because
This is wild.
why would you want to see? And it's the thing. They know it. This is the thing, Joey. They know Iranians and Israel and Jews are going to get reparations over their plight. I'm black, brother. I want my reparations now.
They gonna send that billion over there hands free. Ain't gonna look twice.
And
Just
see,
like
a
they've
lot
been
of them,
sending money overseas.
and I don't get it because I'm FBA. They don't want to criticize Trump. That's what I be looking at them saying, you cool with this? They don't want to criticize Trump. And that's what that is. Okay. Well, we're different FBAs, brother, because I'm going to criticize Trump. Believe that. Believe that. Thank you, Trump. Trump, thank you. Keep acting a fool. I'm going to keep talking.
Hey, JJ, I still feel like black people need reparations too. We ain't gonna get it no time soon, but we still need it, JJ. You said we've been getting reparations for 50 years. I don't know. I don't know about that. You want
Black
to
people are, hold up, black people are victims, JJ.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that, right? But it's the truth. There you go. I'm lazy. There you go. Insults. But that's fine. But anyhow,
yeah, let's go for it.
Charlemagne, he didn't realize that he was like a Frankie Beverly. He was like a Loretta Devine. It's not meant for him to be mainstream. It never was. His whole niche was it was a bunch of black misfits, and that's what the Breakfast Club, the movie, was about. Misfits. And he was called himself the Breakfast Club. It was a bunch of misfits. They weren't necessarily the best radio personalities, but they were going to give you their flavor and their style, which was not necessarily represented in the media. Now they've got the money, and the more money they get, the more they're becoming mainstream. And they don't understand they're losing that audience that loved them for their distinct, uniqueful, urban style. They love them for that. But they're trying to make them into something. They're trying to go to Netflix and then bring that crowd over. That crowd don't want to hear that. If their crowd if your crowd wants to listen to Joe Rogan, they go listen to Joe Rogan. Clearly, they want to listen to what you have to say. That's why they're over there on Breakfast Club on YouTube. You abandoned that. And they shouldn't go over there. I don't blame them. If you're a YouTuber and you've been listening to Breakfast Club for years, for them to do the Netflix things, they abandoned you. You didn't abandon them.
But Platt, you know what it is too? Charlemagne trying to do this little gaslighting thing. And I don't feel like he need to. He should, instead of him trying to say like, oh, y'all be over there watching Netflix and watching this and the documentary of, I think what was it, Next Top Models and all the movies over there. Then why ain't y'all coming over there? Like, that's not how you do it, Charlemagne. Your ego getting the best of you right now. Instead of you getting your people to come over there and enlighten it, you trying to force people to go over there to watch y'all. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Like, dude, there's other content out here. Millions on YouTube for free 99. Good content. You can listen to Platt right now.
Yeah.
Some good content over here.
They should
listen to us. We cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Should.
People can listen and donate and have a good time, and they say what they say in the chat. But you sit up here trying to debo people to go over there. That's not cool. Like, and then now he tried to hit the narrative like Corey Holcomb Platt with the whole they orchestrate against this
and
YouTube.
Corey Corey Holcomb. Hey Corey, listen.
He got chilled too.
No. Hey, listen to me, Corey
Holcomb.
Out. Listen to me, Corey Holcomb. You got a nice spike with Anton, and I not everybody. I was glad you punked out Anton. Okay, you got a nice spike in viewership, and I see that we see and look rest. We hope our prayers go out to Darlene. We see she's not going to be there for some health reasons. Okay. I don't know who he's going to. I think I was the one saying something about. Did I say something about that, Joey? Do you remember me saying that?
Say about what with Corey?
That they were going to replace Darlene. That she didn't have.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It looked like she's not going to be there this week.
Why?
It was a tear fest. I don't know, something about health problems. That's what we're being told. But hold on, let me go back to Corey. Listen to me, Corey. And we hope Darlene comes back. We hope she gets where she needs to be. Everything's fine. Okay. Corey, you're dropping the ball on this. You got that spike in viewership. What are you gonna do?
It's going
what are you
down
gonna do?
now.
You're trying. Well, he's at 8,000. He's still doing good, but still. You know, I mean, I don't know. He needs a producer. His producer produces his show. I don't know what he's going to do. I know a lot of people who was there for that spike are probably not listening now because there's nothing to listen to. There's no more story. And that's the thing that's the danger of stuff like that. Now there are other people, and I'm not going to say.
He keep complaining every damn show for what I'm hearing. Keep talking about like people orchestrating against them. Keep taking shots at the content creators and saying this and that. Like Corey, just do your show. Well, it's like can't nobody tell him nothing. Typical Negro.
Yeah, but like well, you were a follower of the Corey Holcomb show, right? For years, right?
I used to listen to. I was definitely listening to Corey and the 5150 when Zoe was on there. Zoe and the other guy, I forgot his name. He was a comedian too. It was cool, but after he did Zoe crazy, I was like, yeah, I ain't with this. I ain't mess with Corey. Here and there,
I don't keep up with him like that.
But he fell out with a lot of his people.
Yeah,
a lot of people. Too.
I don't keep up with him. I saw the Anton thing. I enjoyed him punking out Anton.
He didn't punk out Anton. Play.
Oh, I don't know what you call it in Philly, but out here we call it getting punked out.
It ain't called nothing nowhere.
It's called getting punked out when somebody tell you get the hell out of their studio. And hold up, and you run. That's called getting punked out.
Even though they was already about to leave, and they like, man, I'm out of here. I ain't.
Is that what you want? I'm about to leave. There you go.
Yeah, but you told this man come outside.
Joey, the man got punked out. Joey, the man got punked out.
I got you.
He got punked out. I don't know why you keep saying, Joey, why are you making excuses for Anton?
I'm not. I said they both looked at horrible.
And all of those women are coming forth. You see all of that stuff coming out on him. Every time I look up on my timeline, I see another woman coming out.
Yeah, every 2 days he talked to somebody saying it was trying to fly him out.
That's scary.
That's why I think him and his wife got a little. And if they do, that's their thing. But
yeah, I saw a thumbnail. I saw a thumbnail. It looked like I didn't see it up close. It looked like his wife was kissing somebody. Yeah, I saw that. It said Anton was upset about it. Oh yeah, man. The AI, be careful with the AI, man. You don't want to go too far with it.
Hey, this is what they signed up for, Platt. So you can't determine when you want the fame, you want the notoriety by any means necessary, the good and the bad. You got to take it. And Anton got to take this where people is all in his business with his wife and his family, and they pulling up old videos and exposing stuff. Hey, this is what you signed up for.
Mika has a video that stays in my timeline. I don't know why.
What video?
Afghanistan. They said made 10 years ago.
Yikes.
It's in, I don't know. It's Mika Unleashed or something like that.
And that shit horrible, bro.
Did you see it?
Yeah, that's the worst shit ever, man.
But it's in your time. Hold up, it's in your timeline too. And I'm like, what the? No, I'm like, why is this in my time? I'm looking over into my timeline. So I looked at some of it. I looked at about Ooh, I looked at about maybe 45 seconds.
What was she talking
And
about?
then, it was looked like what
No,
shower.
it's a rap video, Joey.
Oh my
It's a
goodness.
song. It's a rap video.
Yeah, it's just like all of, it's like,
Oh
it's nothing that
goodness.
stood out, right? So I went on about my business. I looked at it for a minute, didn't necessarily care for it. And I said, nah, I'm not going. And you can actually review that if you wanted to. I don't know all this striking, but I said, I'm not interested. So went on about my business. And a couple of days ago, I get up and there the damn thing is again. I'm like, what the hell is this thing? Why is this thing hanging around my timeline like that?
If you in that algorithm plat with airtime, yeah, her stuff started to pop up. I had to clean mine. It's like, why her shit keep popping up on it? I ain't see the music video, but it was something else that popped up, like the day in life of her. She working out and doing her makeup. I'm like, I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to see this shit.
Af-
I'm like, I
Af-
want to see this shit.
Afghanistan. That's all you gotta do is remember that word. And if
That's
you're interested, just go Afghanistan Mika, and it'll pop up, man. And she's got on the lace, and she's showing off her
I'm
shape, man.
good. She is she popping still? Like I don't know. I
I
ain't
don't
keep up
know.
with it.
I'd have to go over there and look.
And Platt, you was hyping her up, talking about she go over there with Corey and shit. Man,
She
that
would
girl
work
ain't
over
going
there. She
nowhere.
would work. Oh, she'd work over there.
She ain't gonna be nothing.
Well, that's on her, man. That's her choice to make.
I feel
And look, and we love Darlene, right? But she would work there for what he's trying. Look, that's up to him. That's his channel. That's what he's trying to do. So
look like Corey got a new little funny chick on his show. You might be
Mika. Look, don't look. Let me tell you something. I mean, he doesn't know me, Corey. I know what I'm talking about. Nobody else is gonna work but her. But now I know she ain't gonna do it because she said she won't. So, but she would have been perfect because she's not letting on just how she's not letting on how much she's just like you. She's just not letting on to that.
Corey would have ran that girl off, Platt.
Well, I mean, I'm not in no kind of way am I saying anything as far as like something off the books. I'm talking about on the podcast, that way. I think it'd be wonderful for you, bro. I think your community would love her. I think, yeah, those videos, that shit would have been perfect for you, man. What you're into, the type of guys you have on your community, they would have loved looking at Mika, man, running around there in them shorts, running around there in them that lace and them heels and the twerk video.
Yeah, Corey too thirsty, bro. He would have ruined that.
Yeah, well, you're right. Now, you're right. You gotta calm yourself down. I've never understood, guy. Why can't guys? You gotta lose. Look, this is how the world works. You win some, you lose some, but this is how the world. You gotta leave. So I don't want to mess my stream up, right? We got a decent stream. You gotta leave something on the table. So in other words, just like gambling, if I win for 10, yeah, I could put another 3 in trying to win another 10. Or I could just take that 10 and go, which means, Platt, what if you'd have played another thou in there? Yeah, I could have won or lost. Well, you could have won, though. Same thing with women, man. Every woman, you're not going to get every woman. You got to leave ass on the table, man. You got to say, hey, man, yeah, you know what? She's fine, but I work with her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, she is fine, but I work with her. You see what I'm saying? How come you ain't trying to? Oh, no, man, I work with her. Well, man, you still no, not still because I work with her. Why don't you do it? That's what I'm saying. I don't know when we got to squeeze every drop.
Some guys just can't turn it down, Platt. Like you be surprised, bro. Ain't nobody
You
gonna
got
turn
sometimes
down.
a beautiful women, they help you, man. You got to leave them alone. Let them live their lives. Let them have their boyfriends. Let them sleep with who they want to. You need them for something else. I don't understand what we got now. Well, like you got a lot of thirst buckets. They're not used to women. You got a lot of thirst buckets.
Why don't he just find young up and coming comedians from around the country and bring them on for an interview?
Because he's gonna punch on them. That's what Corey did. He had the new up and coming guys. I forgot the other guy he had on there, and he started punching on him, saying he was backdooring.
He said, "Hold on, is this the Ramil, or is this some? Is it that's Ramel That's not the other guy. It says the Breakfast Club wasn't nothing but leftist propaganda
Mm.
set on keeping blacks on.
Oh,
Man, get
shit.
your ass out. You know what? I'm gonna block you. Get your ass out of here. So hold on, hold up. So I should go to the Republican plantation. They keep, you know what? You guys gotta get your message better, brother. Because
Damn.
what you basically doing is you want blacks to do everything they're doing on the Democratic plantation, but you want to do it on the Republican plantation. You're not offering them something better. You're just saying, do it for us. We want you to be our slaves. We want you to be our Negroes. Just like you guys are Trump, the way he's running this war. You cool with that? You guys, let me tell you something, brother. You're gonna have a hard time selling the Republican Party the way he's messing this war up.
You
And
ain't
these
lying.
bodies are coming. These bodies are coming home.
Yep.
You guys gonna have a hard time selling blacks on the Democratic plantation with that body count. But then again, these guys have never served. They're just idiots on YouTube. And a lot of them are just racist. What about
Yep.
just being a free person? Can I vote for whom I choose? Is that okay with you? Is it okay if I say, hey, I'm going to vote for who I want to? I am a free person.
They act no different than the other side, Platt, that they be complaining about. That's why I don't even hold them conversations.
He said, you block anyone who speaks again. I block anyone who uses profanity.
And attack people for no
Mm-hmm.
reason.
And troll, which is somebody I block. You on the clock because you finna go next. You know what? Let me do this now. You know what? Bye. How about that? Block you. There you go. You get him out of here. You know what? Go make another email and come back. You guys are crazy. Why? I would never do that, bro. I would never get blocked, make another email, come back.
Just want attention, Platt. That's all they be wanting. Be surprised how many people be on this internet and they personal lives. This is the only time they get attention when they write and say the dumbest shit too. And I just be like, all right, bro, you got it.
And the Breakfast Club. You got Charlemagne. He overplayed his hand. He went for the money. Netflix knew it. Netflix bought his whole platform, put it on Netflix, created a void on YouTube, which I think Netflix is going to. I think Netflix is in the process of compiling a group of people to replace the Breakfast Club on YouTube, but it's going to be for their benefit. You're going to have Brorilla, and I'm thinking of the. I'm thinking of the other personalities. I'm thinking of maybe a Mark Lamont Hill or someone of that structure.
I say Didi.
Huh?
I like Didi. I think Didi need to replace Just Hilarious.
Who is Didi?
That'd be on TikTok.
I don't know who that is.
Didi 1980. But the chick that we on there, I said that she was caked up, Platt. You was like, she ain't caked up.
I don't know who that is. Didi?
Her name Didi.
Okay, well, let it. What? It's addition by subtraction. They got the Breakfast Club right where they want them. Now they can then turn around and put a program up, and they'll have no competition. And I see somebody's trying to do it. It hadn't taken off. But once again, the composition. You guys got to understand when you compile these things, these personalities, the audience has to receive them. You can't just put them together. There are a lot of people who are very attractive. They just don't have a personality.
You ain't lying.
Yeah. When you look at Stern, right? When you look at Stern, and you had Robin, she was a black woman, but she was on there with Stern. And it worked. You know why? Because of the way they interacted. She understood him. He understood her. That's why it worked.
Netflix didn't give Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club 200 million. They gave 200 million to iHeart for the Breakfast Club.
Okay.
It was a package deal. So they didn't get their whole 200. They didn't get their. I'd be surprised if they even got 25% of that 200 million.
But I think Charlemagne
Go ahead.
orchestrated the whole situation between the Netflix and the iHeartMedia and all that. And I think he got his own media too, where he tried to get the whole shaboom shebang. You know what I mean? Which I'm not gonna lie, that's a good deal. But the way they orchestrate it, it ain't good if your content ain't. I'm sorry, YouTube is one of the biggest platforms out there. I'm sorry, like people can't deny it. Netflix is definitely a big platform for streaming, but YouTube is free.
Okay, so, George. So let me ask you: if he orchestrated the deal, why would he let them put in the deal that he can't put the content nowhere else? Like you get what I'm saying? He
For
has
what
no control over where they put the content at. Like he can't even advertise on YouTube anymore.
he,
Can't
he,
even
he
advertise.
they put little clips on YouTube, but
Actually, do you know you can't do that? No, I'm serious. Do you know that
what
you can't use YouTube for that? Okay, and I'm gonna give you an example. If I got a show on Netflix, I can't turn around and make this about promoting that show. That goes against
Yeah,
their terms of service. Because
yeah,
I was looking at that, they was talking about clips to support the Breakfast Club on Netflix. I mean, that's up to uh, um, that's up to YouTube, right? They can do this is their platform, but technically, you can't do that. You can't use YouTube to promote any other place. Now, do people do it? Yeah, and they get away with it, but you really can't use it for that.
but that's what Charlemagne complained about. Platt is that he's saying even now that when they want to post little clips or whatever to come over to Netflix, that YouTube, which I understand, is a business. Like y'all not gonna take our people from over here and send them over there. And he's saying like, oh, they orchestrated, they going against us because their views don't be high. The little clips.
That falls under spam.
Hey.
It falls under this. Go look up the whole definition of spamming. If you
Mm-hmm.
use YouTube to promote another platform, you violate the community guidelines. That's what I was saying. I was looking at them say that, and I said, "Well, that's spam." Now you can advertise on YouTube. That's called paying. You guys see what YouTube said? Okay, give me some bread. You want to advertise what you do somewhere else? Hit me off. Okay, now we'll advertise, but no, you can't just take your channel and do it. Now,
Yeah.
do they are they 100%? I don't know. Now we know how YouTube is. Who knows? YouTube strikes when they strike. They like a snake. You can be doing something for 5 years and bam, they got you.
Yep. It's a business.
Yeah. And they should have never left YouTube because they're Charlemagne is only you look. And look, hats off to Loretta Devine. Hats off to her. That sister has worked hard and she's done a lot for our community. She's never let us down. And we need her. And I'm so glad that she's been there. She's a wonderful actress. But she's mostly in the Black community. Charlemagne, he's not ready for prime time. Charlemagne is a Black podcaster. He's the Loretta Devine of podcasters. He's not meant to go viral. He's not meant to be in the white community. And by going to Netflix, I don't know what makes him think the people on Netflix wants to hear a bunch of urban radio station guys. Yeah, I don't even understand that. That's just his manager, his agent. If I'm Charlemagne, I fire my agent. That is just ridiculous.
So how can they navigate people to go over there, Platt? Besides,
come back over here.
so leave Netflix to come back to YouTube.
I'm not signing in. You got your password for Netflix?
Yeah, mine's automatic.
Yeah, I don't have my password, man. I'd have to go through. I'm not doing that for no Breakfast Club, man. got to go in there, lost password, figure out the email, finally
Yeah.
change it, and do all of that. I don't doing that.
It only take like 2 minutes though, Plat. Then they send you
Hey,
the email. What up?
Joey, I got a suggestion.
What
I
up?
think they should. I think they should go on the, on tour, like a, what I mean, a multi-state tour, and and get a live audience to
Mm.
watch the taping. That's the only thing I could come up with off the top of the dome.
That don't sound bad. Go on a little run
Yeah,
world
then
tour.
yeah, people you could sell tickets, and people could be like, yeah, I'm going out to the Breakfast Club, taping,
And
and
then
it could be
people
like a
ask
live audience
questions. Yeah.
reaction. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Do like a Jerry Springer / Ricky Lake type situation. Get people come up there and same time like Wendy Williams a little bit, but a little different little twist to it. But dang, we shouldn't give them the sauce freeze because they probably listen to like these. They coming up with some good
Uh-huh.
ideas. God damn, like see, but that's what Charlamagne needs. Some brains in there to really sit them down instead of up there doing the Corey Holcomb thing and they orchestrating against us. Oh, our people, our people. Like, no, bro, you messed up. You did this. You didn't take the time to really plan what you did. And that's okay because you looked at the numbers, you said, oh yeah, we can do this. Not knowing that people ain't really going to gravitate over to Netflix to listen. Like, come on, bro. A podcast on Netflix? Nah.
Yeah,
That's documentaries and
but
movies.
but for Netflix, because they make money all the time, it's in business. It's addition by subtract. If I can take from my competitor, I can. I can. If my competitor has something good, if I can take that from, say it's 2 strip clubs. Say say you have
Uh-huh.
a strip club, Joey. I got a strip club.
Uh-huh.
We 3 miles away from each other, right?
Uh-huh.
For the most part, we have the same girls, right? Just for the most part, right? There's
Okay.
a 50% difference. But it's very possible, whichever one you go to, you see the same women, just different nights. But there's one that say you got one dancer, she's very popular.
Okay.
For you, Joy, she's very popular. And she ain't no different than the other one. She just happened to be more attractive and she's a draw. If I can convince her to come to my spot and stop going to your spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it works or not, I still took her from you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So whether it works or not, I'm not saying you still gonna have. So you're gonna have people coming in looking for her. She ain't here. Oh, okay.
She down the block now.
No, you probably ain't gonna tell them where she is. You're gonna say she ain't here tonight, man. Wait, man, I'm looking for Tina. She ain't here. We're always looking. All right, man. Hey, man, she ain't here. Look at the other women. There are other women there. So what I'm saying is, and Netflix got the Breakfast Club in the same manner. To me, I don't think they care. They took the 200 million. They got them, and yeah, that's a lot of money. But they're trying to compete against YouTube. And they're saying, how can we draw people from YouTube to our platform? It's like advertising. Let's spend this amount of money over time. And it hurt them. It didn't really hurt Netflix. It hurt Charlamagne. It hurt Jess. It hurt them because nobody's really, their urban fan base is gone. They got a completely new fan base. A lot of them people from overseas, the people that they never really was trying to connect to, they don't want to connect to them people, man. Pakistan. You think that's who they trying to talk to on the Breakfast Club? Yeah, they got the viewership, but look at where they're coming from. Yeah, that's a mistake, man. That was a dumb mistake. He fell for the money and they got him. It's just like the chick, she leaves your place. Joy, when she works for you, she's got friends, the other girls, security likes her, you like her, the DJ likes her. She feels at home. You let her sister come in for free. You know her she makes you money, she makes money. You know her. She goes to me, it's a job for me. Hey, my sister wants to come in, your sister got to pay. Hey, the other girls, they don't get on. Well, hey, yo, if they do something, let me know, but I can't make them like you. And she's like, I go there, it's like work. They don't like you. See what I'm saying? It's more money there, but I don't like it there. So then they quit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what Charlemagne has ventured into. Where you get more money, but they don't like it there, and they know they don't. Why would they like it at Netflix?
Yeah, don't be surprised if by the end of the year they got a Latin co-host.
Mm.
They already got a Latin co-host.
He'll consider himself Latin. But
What does he consider himself to be?
No, I'm talking about.
What is he, Chinese?
We talking about Envy.
Yeah, what is he, Chinese?
No, Envy say you're black man. He not none of that. He ain't.
He might as well be Chinese because if he's a black man.
That's what he said.
Envy?
He said he's not Puerto Rican. None of that. I said, all right, if you say so, bro.
I'm talking about real Spaniard. They gonna have a real Spaniard up on that joint. Trust me.
He said a real Spaniard.
They can't change middle stream though, and Jess to me, and Charlemagne makes it. I get where you're trying to go, but that was a bad decision. There's so many other talented women that would have been better than Jess, in my opinion.
Like who, Platt? At this day,
I'm not gonna go through that. Where you?
Because Jess Hilarious definitely ain't top of the. She definitely the bar. I don't know. That's just a hood.
Nah, yeah. Jess ain't ready. Jess just not ready. She's not ready. But see, they don't belong on Netflix. That's the problem. They belong on social media. They don't belong on Netflix.
Hey, Joey and Platt. What about Tasha K? And say, hey, Tasha, we'll pay off that Cardi B bill for you. Bring your behind on over here.
She wouldn't
work. She wouldn't work on Netflix. She wouldn't work on the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is supposed to be about rebels. You know what I mean?
She's not anymore,
Platt. Not anymore.
No, she's not a rebel.
And the Breakfast Club calmed down a lot. Charlemagne calmed down a lot. He's with the mental health. He don't really. The last person he did go at was Dane, but everybody else he don't do how he used to do back in the day. He don't want to attack people like how he used to, which I understand. I mean, the Breakfast Club plays on my radio in my city. I'm like, they syndicated the other people. So,
no, I got you. Perfect collection for the Breakfast Club, and label it New Breakfast Club. And Netflix, get your people behind the scenes, get your organizations, LLCs, change it up. So it's just like in the record business. Somebody can put an album out, but it's not technically, it's your label, but you know how to make it where it's not your label. You know what I mean? It's your label though. Put out a New Breakfast Club. I'm going to tell you who to get. Mark Lamont Hill, Charlemagne, Brorilla, Jess Hilarious, Ray J.
Oh, no, Platt Ray J.
No, that's perfect. Perfect New Breakfast Club. You're going to get great ratings.
That show going to be canceled in 2 shows.
No, I don't know, Joey. I don't know.
Ray J?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
And then Glorilla's little sister, like, that's a disaster.
Oh, you said Glorilla or Brorilla?
Brorilla. They call her
Brorilla.
That's Glorilla's sisters.
Yeah, Brorilla.
They call her Brorilla, though.
That'd be perfect. Brorilla, Ray J, Mark Lamont Hill. Same format. You ain't got to change nothing. Put it on. I guarantee they'll do better numbers than the Breakfast Club ever did.
Joe, I will watch that, Joey. I'm sorry. I will watch that. I got to see it.
I watch it too, but it's not going to last. Like, it's not going to last.
It would last. Could you see them interviewing Trump? Could you see Donald Trump doing an interview with, oh man, Mark Lamont Hill? Can you imagine how that would be? Oh man, that would be something there. And then Brorilla and LGBT stuff, and then Ray J, he smashed Kim K back in the day.
Can't be on there talking about
Because
smashing Kim K.
Donald knows Kim K, so he could talk about, yeah, I smashed that. Trump would laugh at that. He said, huh? Oh yeah, yeah. Trump would laugh. He said, yeah, it'd be that's perfect, man. And I'm telling you, I know what I'm doing, man. I've done this before. That'd be the perfect. If you guys out there, all you money people, investors, you need to hop on that, man. That's the perfect trio because there's a wide opening void. Who's the next Breakfast Club? Mark Lamont Hill, get him away from Joe Budden, rescue him now. Bro Rilla, she's running around, on Twitter, running around doing, she got her own podcast. Contact her. And Ray J, he's perfect. He's perfect. That would be the new Breakfast Club. That's what they need. The whole Charlemagne, Envy, and Jess, let that stay on Netflix.
That's gonna be some chaos, bro. That's gonna be some chaos. Just you bringing up Ray J, I'm like, yikes.
Just have his medicines. Have Ray J's medicines.
His medicine
Get a blood pressure thing. Check his blood pressures.
Ray J during the stream,
just blow him up.
Then he gonna be acting like a buck every time you get a female interview up there. He up there trying to flirt with her or do something like, nah, man. I don't think Ray J. He's uncouth, man. Just keep Ray J right where he at. He need to be right where he need. I can't see Ray, and he actually put Breakfast Club on the map because they even said it with that. He called up there that time when he was going at it with Fabulous, and he got the booty goons and all that. So I don't know. Ray J.
I think the baby guy. I think he did it. I didn't really mess with the Breakfast Club until he went up there and climbed.
Oh, baby went up there.
The Cash Money guy.
All three of y'all.
Yeah, he bought 14. He bought 14 people. You see that? You see Angela Yee. Angela Yee was all around behind her. Did you see that?
They was all standing behind him like goddamn groupie. Yeah, I mean that's his little. That's how them rappers is. But Charlemagne didn't care. He didn't give a damn about none of that. He still was telling Birdman like, "Listen, ain't anybody trying to hear all that, bro." You tell Ross that, nah, you ain't tell them other guys that. Keep that same energy. Shit, you checking me. I'm the radio guy. But I don't know, Platt. That the Breakfast Club, they'll figure something out. They'll probably come back to YouTube and put up their content.
Can't come back.
They can. I mean,
they're under contract.
But if it's not, if Netflix is known,
they don't have to let them. That's the thing. You don't have to let
people.
You don't have to let them out. You don't have to let them out. No, you don't. You can.
Netflix will drop them. If them numbers ain't up, they'll drop.
You can. In business, Joy. Say you build a better computer. Right now, say you come up with a better computer than a Macintosh or Apple. It's a Joey computer.
Let's say a PC over Xbox or a PlayStation.
Now you come up with something that's way better than what we have right now. Way better, faster, and it's more and it's less expensive.
Yeah.
And you exhibit that, right? And you say, I created this, and this is how I did it, and this is how I do it. And the other people come around, well, they'll buy your design. They'll say, how much for it? And you say, well, I want to start out. They say, okay, well, no, once they get it, then they'll bury it. They buy it and they keep theirs going. They say, we'll just bury his design. We'll pay him. We're not going to market that. We'll just take it from him. We'll buy it from him, pay him off, and bury it. That way we can continue doing what we're doing. That's business. They just basically did that. No, they did that to the Breakfast Club. They bought it from YouTube. They bought it from iHeart, and they buried it. They paid them off. They don't want it. They said we can just bury it. Now we control it. Now we can lace up all the radio people driving around with Netflix ads and Netflix this and check out Netflix and Netflix. And it's theirs now.
But Netflix cancels shows too, Platt. Don't get it twisted. If you ain't doing, and then after they possibly could cancel the Breakfast Club, if they want to navigate back to YouTube, it won't hit the same possibly. So they play in the catch-22. Even if Netflix be like, you know what, we got about whatever, how many episodes or shows we want to keep doing with them, and then the ratings ain't up, they will cancel them. Just no different than the TV shows and everything else they do. That's how it is, especially with them streaming people, because they want to see them numbers. You ain't looking, they if your numbers ain't up and you don't get that engagement like how you supposed to, oh, you out of here. YouTube, it don't matter if your engagement is up high or low. Hey, people
The
gonna be there.
tubes.
People going just like Fresh and Fit. They fell off and they came right back.
The Fresh and Fit. Well, Fresh and Fit still, man. They know YouTube owe them. Google owes them a debt of gratitude, bro. YouTube making so much money. Well, have made so much money off Fresh and Fit. They made millions off of them because they don't have to pay them. They still run ads on those episodes.
Oh, they do? Damn.
You go to them, yeah.
And they still demonetized, ain't they? Damn.
Well, but they're demonetized for a lot of reasons. But what I'm saying is, ads that you can always put weightlifting. So you got to say somebody's got really a real explicit, inappropriate content, right?
Yeah.
Right, but it's not to the point where it's crossed the boundary, right? They can put weightlifting equipment. They can put sneakers. They can put energy stuff, adult stuff on. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like Depends diapers and stuff. They still can find some advertisers for that type of content. But does it limit content? It limits it a lot. That's why you don't want to have a spicy stream full of profanity and unnecessary things. Gambling sites, there you go.
Yeah. You want that evergreen content where people ain't out there wilding out and stuff like that, which I do understand. Like, you be like telling the guys, chill out with the profanity. Let's make up another word besides saying the vulgar words, because yeah, they got AIs. They listen to everything we saying and
Well, yeah, the AI listens
power right
to
up.
it. And the thing about it is if all your streams are just laced with profanity, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems. You put in 75 yellow streams. I'm not saying red. A couple of red, 75 yellows, bro. You're gonna get an email. You're gonna get an email from YouTube. They're gonna be talking, they're gonna have a conversation. It's gonna be an email conversation, but they're gonna want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna say, What are you doing? You can't podcast like that. And that's why I say
up.
it's only a few people though. It's only a few guys because most of the time they don't come up or whatever. And when they do come up, it only happens with them.
That's why I see a couple other channels. You out there cursing, you keep cursing, you gonna pay a tab or you gonna get dropped off the panel, which I understand because ain't nobody trying to hear that. But I don't know, plan it. I wish the Breakfast Club the best. You know what I'm saying? Just hilarious. She the one that really messed it up because she the one that told everybody like their engagement is
But
low.
they bought, but Charlamagne bought in.
I don't know why the hell he broke Just Hilarious.
Yeah, she's an on the road comedian. She's real hood. She has the demeanor
Super hood chick
of a male rapper. The demeanor. She's obviously a female, but her demeanor. Look at her husband. You know, come on, man. What they say when people get money, and he did that. He shouldn't have done that. That was a bad decision.
And then she go at it with the other community, with the the LGBTQ people, and that ain't a good thing either. But she doubles down on that.
It's not good if you're trying to have mass appeal. No.
Yeah, don't forget
You
Envy let his con artist homeboy come up here and
Damn,
defend the
I
black
forgot
community.
about that. Yeah.
to be a rebel in the black community was to be defiant. It was to be you didn't care. You want to make money, but you made the money with the defiance. We've moved beyond that now. Now we're all about money. We're all about let's make money. The whole point was you wanted to be a Mob Deep. What was it? Yes, that was Mob Deep. You want to be Mob Deep and make it all the way up in the charts with Shook Ones, and you riding around in your car and keeping it real. You still in the streets, but you was popular like that. You didn't want to be trying to be popular. That was the whole point. You trying to be popular. You want to be popular, but the Pox, the Death Row. You don't want to try Dre, billionaire. You would never think Dre's trying to be no billionaire. That's Dr. Dre. But he's very successful. We're not talking about anything illegal. I'm saying that's where Charlemagne has failed his audience. He thinks I'm trying to get this Netflix deal. I'm trying to get this iHeart deal. That was the wrong thing to do, man. You should have did it against the grain. You should have stood on business. Yeah, I'll take the bill, but I'm staying on YouTube. I'll take the bill, but the people ain't got to pay to see me. There ain't no way I want people to pay to see me. I'm a radio host. That's what he should have said. Well, if we do that, then we got to cut 50 million off the deal. Cut the 50 million off the deal. But no, you don't get no exclusive rights. And that's where they messed up. Because that's actually goes against everything they stand for. You just became the man. You just became a part of the system now.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
And that's what the problem is. They're over there like that, and they're not rebels. They're not the cool kids anymore.
The cool kids over here on YouTube. I can't lie.
Huh?
This is where you gotta be on YouTube. I'm sorry. Like YouTube is this is where it's at. Like
You think so? You like YouTube, Joey?
YouTube been the spot since way back when it first came out when I was in high school. Like, I've been out of high school for a long
YouTube,
time.
something else, ain't it?
YouTube is. It's so many different spaces, sector. You can get so much information. You know what I'm saying? I got my own other account where I listen to, the business and property and all the good stuff.
But Joey, and Platt,
what's up?
Why would they go over there and YouTube is still growing? I mean, the NFL is just, I don't know if y'all guys knew, but the NFL is inking out deals with content creators so the content creators can show their games now.
Oh yeah, on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, so why would you go over there and where you're already at is still growing? It's not dying. It's not. Go ahead.
Netflix is one of the top streaming sites up there with the rest.
Well, they need to ink me out a deal. Where you finding that out?
Oh, well, you look it up, right?
Okay, yeah. They need to let me show some games over here, man. I throw a little money out there too.
What, you ready to go over to Netflix, right?
I'm not on Netflix, but I'm saying if the NFL, I'm subscribed to NFL Sunday Ticket. If I throw a couple of bucks.
Oh, you talking about NFL? Yeah.
I throw a couple of bucks on NFL, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know they let me show the games. Come on.
Yeah, because think about it. No matter where you at in the world, you'll be able to see the game. You showing the game. Let's say you live in Tennessee, you'll be able to show the Tennessee Titans on your channel, and then wherever you're at in the world, you'll be able to see it through your channel.
Yeah, well,
I
wouldn't show that one. I wouldn't show that.
I'm just saying, wherever you at. People from around the world can see your channel and watch the game. That's how the
Titans stink. There's no way I would show a Titans game.
No, they don't, man.
Shout out, Misha. Yeah.
Hey, Misha.
I wouldn't show it. Well, we'll see, man. Who knows, man? I got a matter of fact, I got an email from what you call the microphone people. what both of them, Rhodes sent me an email talking about something. Could we do an ad on your channel? And I haven't got, that was probably 5 months ago. I said I haven't got back to him, man. So it's like that, man.
Yeah, some people just ain't willing to just. It's a difference for what I was told selling out or when you sold out. And the way I look at it now, people are willing to just sell out because things is getting tight. Like as much as you think people,
Yeah, but you can't do it, Joey, because you'll lose your audience.
but at this time and moment, Platt, the way things is generating, especially with content, it's like you're gonna get flustered. Like I think the Breakfast Club at a certain point, they already seen how the market is out here, especially on YouTube. The Tasha Keys and Shannon Sharp and all the rest of these people, and they have their own little niche of people that still watch the Breakfast Club, but don't get it twisted. They also look at them numbers too, be like, man, we get drowned out by all the rest of these people over here on YouTube. We better make something happen, or we
Well,
gonna
that's
be lost in the
not really,
cause.
but really not really.
Not
The
really, really.
content eventually will find where it belongs. There's a lot of
I agree.
content. There's a lot of content. You got a lot of
I agree.
platforms. We talking about Indeed and Twitch and Next and Switch. There's a lot of content and Rumble.
It's a lot.
Yeah, so
I agree.
he made a mistake. It's the wrong crowd. They're not mainstream podcasters. They're black podcasters with a niche audience. Okay, he want to take it to the next level. Well, that's dangerous. And that's what you're witnessing right now. That's just like an album.
Go on Netflix.
That's like Earth, Wind, and Fire saying we're gonna make our next album, but we're gonna sound like the Beatles.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, so the people, it's like not that you guys are not good, but we don't like that album. It's just, it's the same thing. We don't like that. The Beatles album, I don't like that. I like y'all old stuff. And you see that even with your artists. You say, man, I like their new stuff. I mean, I like their old stuff when they
See,
was
Platt,
hungry and just starting out.
I just went on my Netflix and this is what I'm saying. Like this new movie, it looked good called World Machine. Then Nobody 2. The first Nobody was good. That's kind of like an action movie. Like it's just too much. Even over here with the movies, they got some anime stuff going on. Oh, they got Casino back on here. Oh, I might have to
And
watch
see,
that.
hold on,
Ray.
George. That's the thing. Over there, you can actually watch the movie. On
Yeah.
YouTube, you can't watch that movie. If there's a movie and if I'm watching, if I'm looking for the Breakfast Club, and while I'm clicking on the Breakfast Club down in my recommended side, and they put a movie there, say they put whatever movie's out now, I don't even know, whatever a popular film out, right? And when I
Yeah.
look down there and it's saying it's a picture. If I click on that recommend, I say, oh, forget the Breakfast Club. Guess what? It's gonna say either you'll get a trailer or it's gonna say YouTube, you
Yup.
gotta pay. You gotta pay $5 or you gotta pay $30 to see it. Right over on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, I don't have to do none of that. Once I get inside Netflix, I'm
That's
paying my
it.
membership, and then I say, oh, yeah, I'm going to and watch the Breakfast Club. Well, guess what? Like you said, Joey, there's a World War II, and there's this movie and that movie, and there's The Rock and somebody else in this new film, and
Tyler Perry, he got a
yeah,
whole
you're gonna
lineup
probably,
right here.
yeah, you're gonna drift toward them. You're gonna say, whoa, I'll come back to the Breakfast Club, but then you're gonna watch your movies and you're gonna forget about the Breakfast Club. And that's what they're going through.
Yup. Cat Williams got all the Jurassic Parks on here. I'm looking at it as I'm speaking to you. Like, and you want to know what's crazy, Platt? I don't even see none with the Breakfast Club.
Go to the Breakfast Club page and tell me what's their competitors.
I'm about to look. Oh, Saw 10 about to come out on here. See, come on, man. Breakfast Club ain't gonna compete with this, man. They got too many good movies about to come. Oh, here it go, right here, podcast, right here. Oh, they number one in the
Okay.
podcast sector. Then there's another one
What's the
called
next one?
I ain't gonna say the right is Unalive with My Husband,
What's the next one?
Joe and Jada.
What's the next one?
Who is Bill Simmons and
Yeah,
somebody?
see, that's Bill fucking Simmons. Number one on there. That's like saying that what they said. That's the tallest midget. They're not
Uh,
doing nothing over there, man. Being number one as a
the
podcaster on
rewatchables
Netflix.
is what they call the rewatchables.
That's like me going to Alaska and being an underground rapper.
Rory and Maul's on here. Oh yeah, come on, Breakfast Club.
Who? Warrior.
Rory and Maul. These the two guys used to be with Joe Buttons and he fired their asses. They on here. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I
I told
don't
you it's
know,
trash
man.
over there, bro.
I don't know, man. Then they got these white guys right here. I don't play. They got all these no-name podcast white people look like they barely wash up. Like, oh, the Pete Davidson got a podcast.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. It's a different crowd. That's not the niche urban crowd that they had, and they left what they created. See, we're getting further and further away from that. We used to be proud to be black people. We're losing that, man. We should be proud to say, hey, and that's what I mean. When you go back to the Frankie Beverleys, when you go back to the Isley brothers. No, I'm serious. Isley brothers never crossed over. Isley brothers. They were happy being the Isley brothers. Hey, Ernie, and some people say Ernie Isley is the greatest guitarist ever.
I hear that too.
Yeah. You don't know that though. That's not common now. But a lot of the white musicians say Ernie Isley. Nobody can play like him. Right now, he stayed Ernie. He didn't put out a solo album, but he stayed Ernie Isley with the Isley brothers. They never really crossed over. They weren't no Michael Jacksons. They weren't no household names, but they had good careers. And you know what? They brought a lot of entertainment and pleasure and relief to black people and the people who went to their concerts because they did exactly what they wanted them to do. They wanted them to be the Isley brothers. And that's what I think Charlemagne has missed the mark because people want you to be the Breakfast Club. We know you're stupid. We know that you don't know what you're doing. We don't want you to change though. We want you to stay just the way you are. And he's so busy trying to prove or trying to go to Netflix, and that's a mistake. And there's a wide open void. And I stand on this. There's a wide open void. Get you a collection of 3 people. Now, my 3 would be Brorilla, Ray J, Mark Lamont Hill. You have a new Breakfast Club. You don't have to change anything. The blueprint's already been there, laid out for you. It's laid out.
Good morning, Platt. Good morning, Platt. Good morning,
yeah. Hold up. The same
Morning,
things that
bro.
they've been talking about. The same thing the Breakfast Club been talking about. Have a Ray J, have a Brorilla, give her perspective. Have a Ray J. Bring in a politician. Bring in a politician like you've been doing. Bring in a Candace Owens and let her come in there and talk to Brorilla and talk to Ray J and talk to Mark Lamont Hill. It's the perfect casting. It's the perfect casting. I got to pat myself on the back for that. But they're not going to do that. So that's what I mean. If Charlemagne or whatever, they got the money, man, but it pretty much the whole aspect is trash. Nobody's going to go to Netflix to listen to you.
These podcast lineups is trash, but Dave Chong look like he cooking.
But Platt and Joy, I hear what you're saying. I think sometimes you need to sell fast. Sometimes you hold on to something too long.
Yeah, that's what
So
I
you
said earlier. Yeah, you're selling out and you sold out. Like they had to sell.
I agree.
Things the way it's moving right now, we don't know how long Breakfast Club. If people going to keep listening to them another 5 more years down the line, because most of they stuff. I mean, the last big interview for what I heard was Dame Dash, and I hate to say it, Dame was kind of right when he was telling them about ownership and stuff like that. Because once you sell once you sell, that's it. Them people own you, and they could control the content that you're putting out too. Yo, you can't say that.
But
You
like
better not act like that.
I enjoyed $1 million worth of game when they were hood.
Kelly and Wallow,
Yeah, I don't too much like it anymore because they went
they got
corporate kind of.
sponsors. Yeah, they got sponsors.
Yeah. Right. But when they were raw back when they first started up, that was the real, you know. I don't know.
It's just like a job, no different than
Right.
you gotta the way you represent your company. Like you can't just be coming in there with your pants sagging, your shirt. I remember a guy came to work one time with shirt looking all crazy, his drawers all hanging out his pants, and the supervisor like, "Yo, you gotta go home, good brother. Can't come in looking like that. And you smelling like liquor, shirt wrinkled,
Wow.
your hair all looking crazy. Like, what we doing?" Yeah, like when you got corporate, you gotta acquiesce. I'm sorry. I know how black people don't want to hear that. I understand. That's why Dame Dash I was agreeing with that part. Earn ownership until you own your own shit.
But what's wrong with the chitlin circuit? I mean, why do we feel like we have to transcend it?
It's nothing wrong with it, but in due time, most people want to be able to get out of the chitlin circuit. Just like when years ago with Monique, if people remember when she wanted to get more money out of Netflix and shows and stuff like that, and
No
she
money
got
in the chilling circle.
it's
Yeah,
not as much as how it used to
Joy,
Yeah, but
Joy, do you know they gave her that Netflix? She
They gave it to
settled.
her. Yeah.
She settled. She got her money, and
Uh-huh.
then they gave her, and then that thing tanked.
Yeah, it was horrible.
That thing went.
I
Yeah,
watched it.
everything that they said, they were right about her. That was absolute trash. It sits in the catalog of Netflix, and nobody watched it. But she's lied, and they settled. Some judge recommended, and Netflix was told it's better to settle than take it to the next level, so they settled. And she's still running around here broke.
Going at Whoopi Goldberg now. She wrote a letter to Whoopi. Who writes a letter to Whoopi Goldberg? Like, what the hell? But I guess whatever.
What did she wrote talking about with Whoopi?
Because around that time, everybody was basically telling Monique like, humble yourself. Like this ain't your time. And she like, nah, I'm a decorated comedian. I was supposed to be getting paid no different than Dave Chappelle and all.
She's not.
But it's hard to tell.
She could. I mean, if they wanted to pay her that, no, she's not. Monique wasn't even a good comedian. Amongst the women of
queens of comedy.
Yeah, she wasn't even the best. She wasn't even the best comedian.
Yeah. You don't think so, Platt? Monique?
No, it was
Monique is her best. Monique was good at sitcoms. If you want to give her credit for that.
Yeah, the Parkers.
If you want to give her credit for that, but as far as comedian, no, she's trash. Oh, she is a foul mouthed woman. You want to hear a woman talking dirty? If that's what you want to hear, Negroes do get off on stuff on that. They do. Negroes get out. They put on a suit and they go to a concert hall, and she gets up and says, it's not even funny, something disgusting and Negro.
Yeah, vulgar. Yeah, women is real vulgar when they do comedy. I went to one comedy show, and this chick was just talking about everything, her private area, licking and sticking. I'm like, come on, I don't want to hear this, mama. Like, and it was kind of making people uncomfortable. Like, wasn't nobody really laughing. They was mostly saying, ooh, whoa.
Cringe moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. All right.
No comedy. Yikes. And a lot of people have said that about black comedians. It's no comedy. That's why they venture off into white comedians, because it's actual comedy. That's what people have said. I really, like the Netflix, I don't know what those guys say, but they said a lot of it's just vulgar. They're not really funny.
Yeah, I don't even think what's the guy that everyone, Anton and them, are going against now? Troy, whatever his name.
Corey Holcomb.
Yeah, I don't think he's funny. But
Vulgar. Yeah.
I don't
He's
see what the
vulgar.
big. Yeah, maybe is he vulgar? I don't know, but
Extremely vulgar.
yeah,
Abortions, tricking on women, and all
yeah. I
type
don't
of
know his
stuff.
body of work, but he doesn't appeal to nothing I want to listen to. You know.
Well, yeah, he got his spike, man. He better hop on it because slowly, the steam is going down because he's not talking about the stuff that was going on. He ventured over here. He don't really come on YouTube like that. Tampon and all of that stuff. Hats off to, hey, look, Anton or tampon. You you and Corey, thank you. The amount of satisfaction and enjoyment both of you guys gave me during the last month, I can't even put in words, man. You lifted my spirits, man. That was wonderful for me. I appreciate it, brother.
They fed the streets for like 3 months. They still feeding the streets as we speak. That boy Flacco is not letting up on Corey, boy. I said,
Yeah,
yikes.
I haven't been keeping
Another
up with that.
video?
Though. I haven't been keeping up.
Man, I seen one today. He was going in on Corey. I'm like, God damn, man. Corey, just tell this fat dude you don't want no trouble with him. Because he gonna because everything Corey be saying, he's a hothead. He just, you can't tell him nothing.
Well, when somebody big like that, when you start talking about 500,000 subscribers, big name like an Anton, you can really, if you wanted to, you got to follow the YouTube guidelines. If you want to, you can make streams about nothing but Anton the whole time.
That's what they doing.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to y'all content creators, man, for picking up the ball and understanding.
I haven't made an Anton stream in a month.
But Platt, around the space now, that little side over there with Anton, these guys beefing with each other now behind Anton. It's getting crazy.
What do you mean?
Like, I ain't gonna put
you talking about Freezy?
Freezy and my other man they going at it now because of how I'm like, y'all wilding, bro.
Oh yeah. Well, they work together though. That's bad blood.
They all was intertwined with Anton.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. That's if you're not familiar with that, then I can see that. But yeah,
exactly.
He said Tommy going after Anton. Hey, if you want to be honest, Tommy was right.
Yeah.
If you want to tell the truth, no. He said Anton, you attack Mark Lamont Hill. Now hold on, let me say this. I agree with Tommy when he said that because I don't keep up with all, but I remember Mark Lamont Hill. We all do, right? Before this YouTube stuff, he used to be on the TV show. Mark Lamont Hill used to be on the TV show. Mark Lamont Hill ain't never tried to come across as no tough guy. He ain't never tried to come across like he a thug. He was always an intellectual dude, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And Anton attacked him, and I was like, wow, of all the people. I saw that, and then Tommy was like, y'all getting on me, but I just did the same thing Anton did. And then I looked at it twice because I said, whoa, he right. He said, y'all getting on me. But he said, what did I do? I just attacked Anton. He said he did the same thing to Mark Lamont Hill. And I said, whoa, no, he woke me up. I said, whoa, now, and they're doing whatever they're doing now. I don't know what they're doing currently. But it's interesting. Let me put it like that.
I thought Mark Lamont Hill. I thought he would have Joy. You in Philly, just like I'm in Philly. I thought he would run for some type of government position.
That's what I would think too.
I don't know what what's his plan.
You need to get Sherelle out of here. We need her out of this city ASAP. I don't care who's the next mayor. And yeah, I voted for her. Can't lie.
Yeah, I voted for Sherelle too. I don't know. She's
sisterhood. Just sisterhood.
I like Sherelle. I like. Yeah, you don't like Sherelle Parker?
I don't like her now because after the trash, and then we got these speed bumps, and we got a lot. We got the lights. the parking, and get a ticket everywhere you go. There's no point having a car in the city.
Yeah, true that. True
You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yo, Joey, Amazon is next.
You
She
think
attacked.
so?
I think. Yeah. I think Cheryl said she's about to tax Amazon packages or something like that.
Yeah, that sound about right.
Well, they tax
Something
them
she's doing
here.
with Amazon.
They taxing them
Remember,
there,
Oh,
Platt.
for
oh
the
yeah.
long time, Amazon stuff wasn't taxed, but yeah,
Well, it's tax here.
It
yeah, it's
is.
taxed here too.
Okay. Yeah, I heard they was taxing everywhere else, but yeah, they about to put that
You
tax
know,
out here, I guess.
you
Got
know
to
how much. You know how much this guy. I called this dude. He's a Mexican dude. He got his own business though. You know, he could be American. He could be Greece. Anyhow, I called this business right. I said, I remember I told you. I said I need a front and back chop.
yeah, long.
Good dude. I said, yeah. He said he gonna come out. I said, give me. I kept. He never would give me a quote. I said, well, I need the quote. I said, don't chop till you get the quote. Till you give me the quote.
You gotta come out and look at your yard and
He
stuff.
came out. He told me he hit me up to some $220. I said, man, you must be smoking. You must be on that thing, bro.
Hold on, Platt.
You must be smoking that stick, bro. You crazy? I ain't paying you no $220
Do you got bushes in your front yard,
to
Platt?
cut
Wait a
grass.
minute.
Yeah, and if you got
I'll pay you $220 to build me a fucking third room on my house. Never
Platt,
to cut your yard.
but do you got bushes in the front yard like mine? Because mine's supposed to be.
It's high, but I can. Joy,
You can trim them.
for that, it might take me. I ain't gonna be doing one day,
Okay.
but I can knock it down. I got to cut it, about 3, then come back, redo it at about 1, and then that's how it's cut.
I don't.
It would take a lot longer because it's high now. That's what I'm saying. It's real thick. I wanted him to knock it down. I went up $200. I'm like, man, I'm not paying you. I don't know why he said such a crazy number. Then he turned back and sent me a thing, and I told him, I said, nah, man, I could do 160. And he didn't say nothing. Then he hit me back to my, okay, maybe Thursday. But that's all right.
All right.
Well, we'll see.
All right. Yeah. Way back.
We'll
Thursday.
see. We'll see, because I told him, I said, I don't need everybody wants you to do it every weekend. And all of that snow with that long freeze that we had across the country, that snow really
slowed it up with the
it helps. No, it helps your grass because it's deep moisture. That snow goes in, it freezes it, then it goes in deep.
Mm-hmm.
So the grass or whatever, all the vegetation and all of that stuff is really going to grow
Now,
hard
Platt,
now because of that snow.
I wanted to ask you, Platt, because where I live, if your bushes ain't cut at a certain length and your grass ain't, you get fined for that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to pay that $200. You know what I mean? Front and back. Because if
I do it myself.
the back,
if we get fined, Joy's
No.
absolutely correct.
No, I would do it. What I'm telling you is I would understand it and I would just do it myself. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I could do Joy. I got my mower and stuff. It's all my stuff paid. All my stuff paid for itself. You see what the prices are, right?
Yeah.
A mower and a what do they call that thing? A clipper? Whatever the trimmer.
Yeah,
I don't even know what you call it. A mower and a trimmer.
I call it the trimmer. Yeah, I know
whatever that thing is, you get the more. When you look at the prices now, you might as well buy your own stuff because you're paying for it.
A good one could run you about $800-900, or a good.
For what? Are you talking about a riding mower? You talking about a riding mower?
Not a riding mower. I'm talking about the one you walking and mowing your.
I don't know where you buy your mowers at. Who pays $800 for a lawnmower?
Yeah, a good one at Home Depot.
Nah,
$800. I don't know where you
can get a good mower for like $200, man.
Yeah, you can get a cheap one.
Well, you don't have to get it. You don't have to get it that low, but $800. Why would you want it at $800? I don't get $800.
I'll pay $800 for mine. It does. It catches. Okay. I got the bag on the side. Catch the the residue of the grass you cut.
Well. Anyhow, when you're talking about what they're going for now, that's what I'm just saying. When you look at the prices, right? I'm just saying, people, you get it cut. And there's a whole bunch of business saying we'll come out there, chop you for $20 this time, but you got to pay them $65 every 2 weeks, for the rest for the whole summer. And I don't want to sign on to that. I said, well, I could do it myself. I just need you to come and chop it now because it's high. I don't want it. You know why? Because I don't want to do it high. Because I know what I have to go through. I don't want to go through that, man. The battery run out. I don't want to go through all of that.
Charge the
That thing
battery
sitting.
up. What?
You gotta go charge it back, come back. Nah, man, when it's high like that, no, once you get it down, but I'm telling you, man, once you get that thing down, it ain't nothing to chop.
Yeah, I got
Because
electric.
you won't let it grow. You don't let it get up.
Well, people don't look at the
And it's good
the long
exercise.
term plat.
Well, no, and it's great exercise. So you got to exercise anyhow, right? So why not go out there and push the more? It's great exercise, and you keeping your yard cut. We'll see. I'll get him to do it, man. He'll do it. He'll do it. I hate that he's so high though. It make me wonder, but I gotta hide my stuff too.
High what stuff? Oh, you be taking
I gotta
your-
hide my garden hose and my jack. Because when they start giving them prices like that, you have to wonder why you so high, man.
I'm letting my guy. He can use my equipment. That's why he give me a little discount. He do a good job. Like my bush in my front yard, man. Right, in my driveway, that thing's sharp.
I'm gonna get it. No, believe me, he gonna edge. He gonna edge me up. He gonna get all the leaves. The one thing I give him, he scares me with that. When he's done, there ain't a leaf, not one leaf.
That's what I like.
Yeah, I ain't never done that. I said, man, I've seen, I've cut it myself. I've tried to break it, but it's gonna be some loose leaves, man.
Yeah, same with me, Platt. I can't get all the leaves. It don't matter how much I rake it up. There still be little leaves on the side.
When he did it, man, it wasn't a leaf. I said, what the hell?
Even when me and my son do it together, there still be little leaves on the side. I be like, man, it's cool.
Sack it up, lay it out there on my on the front yard, lay the bags out.
Yeah, my block full of leaves, full of trees, man. Them leaves piss me off. Wow.
That's the only thing. I'm around all these trees, boy. I'll be like, God damn.
Squirrels, all of that, man. We got possums, squirrels.
Yep.
All of that.
I got all that. Yeah,
but we done made the flip, man. So now it's gonna be a hot summer, man. It's gonna be a lot of bees and
I hope not.
And ants. Well, they're coming, bro.
Because this weather is crazy.
After a cold, like this cold spell, normally, because it just resets, it's gonna be even a hotter, more, insects and all of that stuff. Spiders. But we'll make it, man.
It was 70 degrees 2 days ago. Now it was below 80. I'm like, who's playing with the weather right now? This is crazy. It was just snowing a little bit.
I got you, man. Look, but because they complaining about, the Breakfast Club at the end of the day, Charlemagne overplayed his hand. Okay, he's number one on Netflix. That ain't good. He should have stayed on YouTube. And also, what about the community? What about the community? Community likes you, man. The community needs you. They want you to be a part of the community. Okay, yeah, you could take money and go mainstream, but that ain't what they want from you.
Yeah, that's something to be said. Yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah, they liked you because you wasn't mainstream.
But Platt, do you understand that Breakfast Club, Joe Buttons, we could put Club Shay Shay, they all in the same category.
Not Shannon Sharp.
Yes.
Nah, not Shannon Sharp. All of them mainstream. Joe Buzz, that's mainstream.
So is Breakfast Club.
Nah.
They syndicated.
They shouldn't be. That's the whole point.
It ain't about what they should be.
Joey, they shouldn't be even trying to be like that. Joe Bud's mainstream. Okay. Joe Bud is mainstream. Who else is Shannon Sharp? Mainstream. But the Breakfast Club is supposed to be ours. That's us. They represent the Black community. They represent the urban community. They're supposed to be like, we got Jess up there. Jess is a bimbo. You got Charlemagne, an idiot, and you got Envy, a scammer. That's what we like. That's what we want to see, man. We don't want to see a sellout Breakfast Club on a Netflix. They lost us with that. Too many people just don't want to be what they are. And that's precisely our problems, man.
No, it's the point of people got to know when they got to cash out, Platt. And most times, I can't lie, like it's only so much you can last in the chilling circuit. And Corey Holcomb is about to learn his lesson with that. You think that?
I think I would have sold out, Platt.
It comes time you might have to.
And I believe you. I believe you, brother. That's sad though. We used to be stronger than this as a people, man.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying too.
We weak. White man waves a little money in front of us, man. We run for it, bro.
All right, see, Platt, but then that's when I've got to push back because there's only so much niggas want to support too. Like, we want shit for free 99 or damn near on.
No, we don't. Nobody said we wanted it for free, but we.
Yeah.
You know what, man? You got to understand, we're in a different world now, though. This transitional period for me has been really, really unique. Because you got to understand something like the Good Times. Good Times was not made for white America. It was made for Black America. And you know what? It was well received. Norman Lear, it was well received by Black America. It wasn't about, okay, do white people like this show? It was irrelevant. The fact is, Black people liked it. And they put on a performance that's people think about even now. And people have passed away on that show. But they still talk about that show. Okay? We used to be that type of people. Breakfast Club was falling in that vein. They decided to sell out and they become something else. It would be no different if Good Times, if Esther Roll decided to have become Beyonce. I mean, would you expect like what the? She said, I got an album coming out.
But that's why the dad wanted to leave Good Times Play, if you don't remember, because it was making it a little minstrel show with JJ. Dynamite, and everybody was getting shot up and beat up and robbed and all that. He started to get tired of that stuff. They had to get rid of his character. So you saying we only got to be stuck with the low bottom of the bottom of the barrel stuff? Like we can't evolve past it? We got to be stuck in the hood? That sounds like you better be stuck in the hood.
No, Joy, right now, Joy, being in the hood.
Gotta get out the hood sometimes.
No, they should have stayed on YouTube and he should have stood on business. Charlemagne should have made an announcement. We got an offer for this amount of money. Hart wants to give us this amount of money, but they want us to go to Netflix, or Netflix is going to do this, and we standing on business. We're not going nowhere. We're the Breakfast Club. We're always going to be what we are, and we ain't. But he didn't do that. He sold out, man. He sold out. In the process, he lost his fan base.
200 million Platt. You think you ain't going to acquiesce to people's demands?
Well, you and Philly Boy both have admitted you would sell out. Go ahead, Free Zone.
I sold out.
What's up, Platt? Shout out to you, man. Good morning. Good morning, man. I ain't been over here in a while. Your channel is, hey, shout out to you, Platt. I'm seeing the numbers. I'm like, yo, what happened?
No. That's on the horizontal. We actually down over here.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, shout out to the progression, man.
I hate to tell you that. I mean, but
it's time to sell out, Platt.
You ain't been over here. That's why you think that'll help? I don't think that'll help me though. Free Zone, you haven't been here. No, YouTube hasn't been sending out my notifications. So, and that's on YouTube too. You know how they do.
Yeah. Charlemagne been sold out, man. This Netflix move is just another rung in the ladder up, man. He been sold out though.
Look, we got us a new. Look at this. We got Tiffany. What do you think about Tiffany? Free Zone.
Hey, shout out to Tiff.
Yeah,
welcome Tiffany. We got one subscriber. Got a new
pretty young woman right there.
There you go.
We got one.
Hey, who is the highest paid? Who is the highest paid person to not sell out?
I don't know.
Ain't one. I don't know of top of my head.
I don't
And
think Tiffany knows this show over here. Tiffany, technically, you would be my first. Well, I think my second. No, my second white subscriber, second white female subscriber. I don't think she knows that. So that's why we think it's a good. We're about to blow off the horn over here because sometimes some kind of way the channel has spread out enough to capture your interest. But you're welcome over here, Tiffany. That's it, Tiffany. No Okay, that's you. Okay, go ahead, man.
Hey, Joey, y'all were asking, did iSpeed, you know the guy iSpeed, whatever, did he sell out? You know who I'm talking about?
He's always been a sellout.
I don't think
Okay.
Speed really sold out.
I saw Speed. Speed was going to the hospital.
He was?
Yeah.
He was going to the hospital?
Yeah, he was all swole up. Something's wrong with him.
Damn.
They's about to have surgery.
Oh, wow.
I ain't know that.
But you said he sold out. I don't know.
Yeah, Speed's an idiot, though.
I mean, but I expect the streamers and all them guys to kind of sell out, especially Kai, Aiden Ross, certain guys. You know what I'm saying? Because that paper on the line, like you start looking at $100 and something million, bro. You good for the rest of your life. Yeah, you might lose your content and all that, but that's just even with entertainers right now, right, Platt? They selling their masters and they selling all their catalogs.
Yeah, but that's I'd say in the next 3 years, washed up rappers and washed up singers, they're not going to have the appeal that they have now. This social media still is new, so you have a Mace Cameron who are able to capture the moment. You have a Joe Buttons, but eventually people are going to go back to the talent, and you're not going to see those guys with those types of numbers because eventually you have to have a talent to do some of this stuff. And it's going to show because a lot of them don't know what they're doing. And a lot of guys find out it's not easy to do 2-hour monologues. That's just not easy, but they think it is because they sit in the back until they have to do it. It's harder than you think, brother.
I wonder if it's easier than doing music. Said, I wonder if it's easier than doing music.
Well, music, I don't know if you mean easy, but I'm saying your music, you want the people to enjoy your music. So when we said that Frankie Beverly doing a song with Nickelback or New Kids, In Sync, to his base would be like, man, you doing a song with In Sync? He said, yeah, I'm trying to cross over to the new audience. They would say, well, what's wrong with this audience? What's more money? Okay, we get it, but still, what about us? And then he said, I'm chasing the money. And we've always, in the black community, we look at that as a sellout.
No,
We didn't say he couldn't do it. We just look at that as a sellout.
But
people like their Frankie Beverly just the way he is. Okay, is he going to make as much, Joey? No. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to the people are going to love him, and they're going to enjoy his music. So he has to make up his mind. Do you want money or do you want the fans to enjoy your music?
But Frankie Beverly had his time. You get what I'm saying? Just like people sometimes do got to evolve out, Platt, because we remember the New Jack Swing. We start to hear Michael Jackson slide to that. You know what I mean? You start hearing other people start to Shaka Khan. We start hearing other people start to gravitate this.
Shaka Khan.
Yeah, we start to hear people.
Shaka Khan. Let me rock it.
So Platt, you're
saying they should have stayed in the chitlin circle. Man, he did that, man.
Baby, honey.
Yeah, Melly Mel, he did that one, bro.
Yeah.
That's all he said was Shaka Khan, let me rock you.
Yep.
I said Prince wrote that. Shaka Khan.
See, I ain't even know
Shaka Khan.
Yeah, me neither. Prince was talented.
Let me rock it. That's all I want to do, Shaka Khan. Let me rock it. Rock it, Shaka Khan.
Switch it up. Hey, Platt, you gotta switch it up sometimes. You got to. Like, Like you just said with Justin Timberlake earlier, like he went from NSYNC, pop, he went to the R&B / we could say the urban music. Now he back doing country. You know what I'm saying? You gotta vary in the different places.
You got to pivot. You got to pivot.
Even these content creators now starting to pivot. They starting to do different things because you get stuck. And yeah, you can call it grifting or whatever, but it comes a time where you can't be stuck in just this one bubble. Like you're going to stay in that one bubble like Corey Holcomb, and then you're going to get flustered.
Yeah, I've been telling Corey, I mean, I don't know him, but okay, Darlene's taking a leave of absence. We hope she's okay. He needs to reach out to Mika. He needs to reach out to Mika. I know you said, well, Mika's a nobody and all. She's perfect for his show. You gotta understand, man. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. He needs to listen to me.
That would mess the game up.
No, it wouldn't. She'd be perfect for a show.
I don't
perfect.
see what you see.
And also, she enjoys his humor. That's what you gotta understand. They are in sync. She'd be perfect for a show. She needs to take for a moment because all this stuff. Take a moment to stop her channel and go over there with Corey, build a channel. I mean, build an audience, get a familiarity. Now, the other stuff outside of some stuff, I can't speak on that. That stuff, because that's what I said. That's the problem. When you're a guy and you run around talking about you sleep with the women you work with, it's hard to recommend women because it's almost like you're endorsing it. And I'm not even talking about just working with somebody. And that's why I said I don't think he should have said that. I don't know why he said that. You don't say stuff like that.
Somebody in the chat said he needed to find he fell out with Tiffany Haddish. That's what I'm saying.
Tiffany Haddish said she ain't dating Negroes no more.
Man, she be back. Don't worry about that play.
You know what? If Mika was smart, she would go to Corey Holcomb if she was smart.
Yeah, why not? Get her
back. She already sold out. She might as well buy in.
That's a good point. Already sold out. Need to buy it. Yeah, that's.
They said she got out the car, left Anton. Anton was by himself. So that woman, he said they didn't get the impression they was together.
Yeah, but she's like, again, man.
Free-zone. That's like you going on a date, free-zone, and you park and the girl get out and start walking. You still trying to cut the car off. And you get out. And you
I'll be bad as hell. I hope the horn and run the windows down like, hey, yo, come here, yo.
Yeah, she like let the world know she ain't with you. She already inside. They done
slow down. You cut the car off. She slammed the door. Like you.
Yeah, she done got out. You like, huh? She got up and left.
I seen that happen too. Like, damn.
Yeah, it's nasty work. Nasty work.
Yeah, when they told me that, I said, man, she don't even want nobody to know she with him, bro. And then the way she said, never. Yeah, but you don't want women to do that to you, man. You never want a woman to deny you, man. Now, you want a woman to either giggle about you. She don't have to say nothing about you, but you don't want her to want to clarify. Can I have some clarity on that? We ain't never been. Yeah, that's insult. That's an insult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did that to him. I'm just looking at that saying, man, you don't get, he didn't even know that. I said, man, you guys are these YouTube guys, I don't know what's going on, man.
Man, it's no different than the world play. I've seen guys do that, get around the bad chick in the hood, riding her around, taking her to the mall, buying her stuff, and she ain't paying that nigga no mind when they get back around the way. And he just googly eye over her, and she don't pay that nigga no mind.
Joy, I have worked with Joy. Women, and I've had guys come up to those women and say so and so said A, B, C, and D, and I've seen those women blush and giggle. Then I've seen them say that about other men, and I've seen those women go straight to HR.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a difference. That's what I'm saying. It's a difference.
Yeah, it is a difference. But Anton, he just want that he just want to be that guy. I mean, I've seen it before. I'm that
But
man. I got money.
Anton was blushing with Fleece.
Oh, that was.
And he was beside himself. He thought that was so funny with Fleece. That's not funny, man.
I would have ended that.
Another
so
man
fast.
talking about he want to knock you down like that. You
told him he was thick. I'm like, he like
all you did was giggle.
You gotta tell him, hey man, no, don't do that. You could interview him. You'll say, no, bro, don't do that. You tripping, bro.
Hey,
bro, no. And then you in the interview say, bro, hey man, I'm out of here. You don't sit there and let no man flirt with you, man, while you goof and giggle and sniggle and stuff like that.
Hey, Free, he had that boy laughing like a bitch at the bar. Like, you know,
like who, me? Oh.
Yeah, girl, I like the way you shake. Oh, yeah. I was like, Anton, bro. But you the
that makes guys like that think you're interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've all had it. That's what I'm saying. And, you know, guys are too macho to admit it. We've all had it. I'm saying we're men. I'm a man. We're all men. Guys are not going to admit it. I've had men, you know, come up to me and say things, and I look at them. I remember one time I was waiting at a bus stop. Dude pulled up, a white dude. He was like, hey, man, where you going? And I looked at everybody else at the stop. I said, just looked at him. I said, is he talking to me? He said, no, you. I said, what? I thought, I'm like, where you going? He said, I'll take you. Where you going? I said, what? I just looked at the white dude. He said, come on, man, hop in the car, man. Wherever you want to go, I'll take you. And I looked around at the other people, and they were looking at me, and I was like, what? And I said, nah, man, I'm gonna take the bus. And he drove off, and then another brother, black man, said, hey, man, that dude tried to pick you up. I said, what? He said, yeah.
Like he was a streetwalker.
Yo, it's crazy,
I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm a man. What are you talking about? They tried to pick me. He said, yeah, that's what he's trying to do. And I said, huh? Because I couldn't even process it.
He's finna trick off on you, Platt.
Yeah, now that's what I'm saying. So as a man, guys want to admit it because they're too macho. Yeah, guys are going to, there are homosexual men out here. Your guys going to come up to you and make a play. You don't have to send them. You don't have to, you know, do all that extra stuff. But you don't have to. Also, you don't have to get in the car. And that's what the Negroes are get in the car with the guy. Hey man, that man was talking about some. Yeah, that's why he was giving you the ride.
Tripping, bro.
Yeah, I'm not getting in the car with that dude. I'm looking at what's wrong with that dude. He said, man, they doing just like a man would do. He sees a woman he likes, he tries to make a play at her. And I couldn't believe it. I said, man, that's insane.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean. When you now, if I would have goofed and giggled, if I'd have sat there,
I leaned over in the window. Yeah, I was
like, you think I'm fucking you talking about taking me out?
Get in the car.
Yeah, that would have sent the wrong message.
Yikes.
That nigga Platt was on Fig, man, just strolling through. Just passing by.
My alternator was out, and my money was funny, and I was at the bus stop with about other 9 people up there, and I got on there just like they got on there, and I couldn't believe that. I said, "What?"
Yeah, ain't nobody expect a man to pull up on him like, you know, chick at the bus stop sucking on a lollipop just to make him. Yeah, like, bro.
No, he was a gay dude. He was a gay dude. I don't know what was. He's crazy too. So
Jesus, man. Yeah,
but no, as a man, this is what you guys won't admit. I'm not saying you should ever talk about it at all. Well, this is YouTube. I'm trying to make a point. But as a man, especially black men, we don't like to talk about that there are gay men amongst us, and they do make plays. Look, I'm not saying you're going to take him. I'm not saying you got to send him to the morgue. I'm just simply saying that shit happens. Why? It's like we're afraid to admit it. Man, there's people out there like that.
No, Platt, you ain't lying, because that happened to one of my homies. We went to Bloomingdale's, and this customer service guy, my man was looking at some jeans, and the guy was gay, and he started making passes at him. He putting the jeans up to him, talking about, you don't look like a size 34. And he up there, he trying to be, you know. And then, you know, my man, he Muslim, and, you know, if you know about Philly Muslim guys, they don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? With that community.
Yeah.
So me and my other man trying to calm him down. He like, yo, I keep telling this boy stop doing it. Like he keep putting the clothes up to him, and he gets behind him and stuff. And it's like, bro, we got him. Go ahead and help somebody else out. So play. I seen it done. I seen it happen.
Yeah, you can request if no, and I don't know why. Unfortunately, it happened to your friend. But if I go to a place, a retailer that makes men's clothes, men's apparel, I can request a female salesperson. I don't have to do anything with a male. I can say, well, I'd rather have a female sell me these items, and they understand that. They'll either say if they can't do it, they'll say come back Tuesday, or they will find someone to do it. Come in and make it sell. You don't have to even deal with a man if you don't want to. You're buying jeans. You could tell a man, hey, and you also assume the men want to do it. They'd be like, yeah, well, you good, bro. I don't want to say, hey, bro, I got you. Give me 15 minutes. Here she comes. There you go. You can do it with a woman.
Unless he's the only one there, Platt, then you
could come back then you come back Tuesday.
There you go. Right. That sounds like a perfect idea.
And a lot of times when you do stuff like that, you could have your girl go with you or a woman you date. So if you feel that way when you get your pants on, you can let them forget him. He's just selling them. You put them on, then you walk in front of her and she lets you know if it's a good deal. Then she say, yeah, get those, or they're too tight or they're too loose. And then you do it with her. You don't have to even, that's what I'm saying. There's ways around things like that.
You ain't lying, Clark. That's what I do with my girl. She goes with me.
How
these fit, how these look. You know what I mean? You won't even need nobody to assist you, but I ain't got nothing against them people. They do what they do with them. Yeah, him pulling up on you, Platt. That's crazy.
My thing on the gay side is if a man is gay, what does it have to do with you? You're straight. As long as he doesn't bother you. So he's gay. Okay, that dude gay. And I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to really, I can see him walking up steps. I can see their behaviors, and pretty much I can assess that they're gay by the way they just carry themselves, man. It's a difference. It's a difference. That's what I'm saying.
No, I hear what you're saying, Platt. My only thing is
you can't tell. You can't tell, Joey.
Yeah, I can tell.
That's what I'm saying. You can just tell. You don't have to say nothing. You just be living your life, walking in the mall, and you can look at that dude and say, "Man, that dude, that dude gay."
Yeah, I ain't got nothing against him, but
nothing against him. I'm just saying that's his mannerism.
That's his mannerism. That's what my only thing is when them people, their community, started inserting themselves in the straight men activity, and that's why I'll be like, all right, bro. Like, y'all gotta go over there because whatever y'all got going on, I respect. That's your thing, but straight men, what we got going on, like that's different. That's why a lot of them dudes be exposing dudes and DL and all that wild shit.
He said some of your homies gay.
What?
And we're gonna get off this topic. He said some of your homies gay for real, and you don't even know. Everybody living their own life. I mean, well, you know what? No, Mr. Art. Okay. You're right. You're right, Mr. Art. Some of them are. You're right. No, some of them are. But as long as they don't bother you, what difference does it make? I'm not in this bedroom, period. I got you. Now, if I work with a guy, we got to go to the small talk. We go and do our job. Everything goes where it's supposed to. He is behind the scenes doing stuff. I'm not in his bedroom, so I don't know. And that's what we've moved away from that. When you tell people you don't know, you just tell people you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? I don't know.
But Platt, Anton knew with this guy, and he was known for doing things to taking men in jail. Like that's why I'm like, you the Christian conservative guy, and you interviewing this man. But then when you go and say something to him about that, he's a good dude, he's a cool dude, and I'm like, come on, bro.
And I could get the content side from Anton. I'm doing it for content, but Anton. That's a grown man flirting with you, man. Think about the optics. That's where there's a disagreement because the optics are horrible, man. You don't want those types of optics, man. A man flirting with you, that's not cool, man. That's all. But we get it, you macho and all that. Nobody's trying to take from me. I don't know what you do. I know I wouldn't want no man. I wouldn't want no man flirting with me. That ain't cool. I would tell him not. I'm not going to get violent because we always go to that, right? No, I tell him, hey, man, that's not cool, man. Leave me alone.
That guy, what's his name? Woody was ready to put hands on him. They did a 20v1 I seen somewhere, and I'm like, oh,
well,
man.
you have to because they can go too far.
And that's what he was about to do. He was about to take it too far with him.
You gotta let him. That ain't cool because just like you have women, you have men who sexually harass women and won't leave those women alone. There are gay men out there who sexually harass men and they won't leave the men alone. And I get what you're saying. But I'm saying, believe it or not, the men are telling them, hey, man, I don't know what's going on with you. I need this job. But you need to leave me alone. Just leave me alone. And the guy's still flirting. And then it goes into the next level. And then the dude has to put hands on the dude. And now I think that shouldn't happen, but it does. That's why you don't even want to open that door because that shit ain't cool.
Nah, it ain't. But content is king, Platt. So by any means necessary, these guys got to get that content out. And that's what I'm saying. Well, even we go back to the Breakfast Club because they content ain't like how it used to be. When you used to see a Breakfast Club interview, you always was like, okay, Charlamagne was going to say something wild to somebody or ask them questions that a normal interviewer wouldn't ask them.
I wish Tiffany would come up here, man. Hit the link, Tiffany. I wish she'd come up here and say hello to us, man. Go ahead, Joey.
Nah, I was just saying, like, I don't see the Breakfast Club on Netflix where they got a good interview where everybody like, yo, I'm about to subscribe to Netflix. I need to see what the Breakfast Club got. This interview was such and such. Like the last one was Dame Dash, but even that was like it was good, but it was like it's Dame Dash. Like ain't nobody gonna subscribe to no Netflix just to see Dame Dash and Charlamagne go at it. You just see a clip or somebody gonna put it up on TikTok and we watch that. But I don't know. This deal they did, it might work out later on. See how it work out.
Nah, it's not gonna work out.
Right now, it ain't looking good.
They hurt the community, bro. Our community, we needed them as a conduit, as a way to talk to people that was coming to us from the CNNs and the MSNBCs. They messed up. They took the money, and that was a mistake, man. They hurt themselves. And Charlamagne, he probably don't want to admit it, but he hurt himself. He should have, hey, man, that's the path you chose. You got to stay in that path.
Hey, Platt, I don't mean to be off topic, but you into boxing, ain't you, Platt?
Nah.
All right.
I don't box, and no, I haven't kept up with it in forever, Joey.
Oh, all right. No, because I was just going to ask you, how you feel about this Clarissa keep picking that Rolly, like,
Clarissa what?
Clarissa Shields, she keeps saying she want to fight Rolly or she could beat Rolly.
What, a guy? Is that a guy?
Yeah, Rolly. He's a boxer.
I don't know. No, I'm trying to figure. I can't find. I've been looking for it. I saw it on about 3 weeks ago. I saw it on Twitter. This real muscular chick was knocking people out, and I haven't been able to find her. But
I think I know what you're talking about.
No. This chick is buff. This chick because I keep finding other women. They're not. No, this chick built like a man. Her upper body. This chick is knocking people out, and they were saying she's never fought Clarissa. That's who she should be going after. I don't know her name, but I just saw it.
But Platt, that buff stuff don't really matter. It looked good, but trust me, I've seen the buffest guys get put to sleep.
Hey, fellas, I'm I'm getting a report that Trump just sent ground troops to Iran.
Oh
Did y'all hear
man,
anything about that?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
2,500 Marines, and it's going to be a
Wow.
slaughter because Iran's got. They'll probably send 50,000, and they're going to get them. They're going to position themselves where they can take shots. And you also got to remember, they have no problem with arming themselves with weapons and running toward the enemy. We now see that's the thing because they were talking about America. We're different. We don't really live like, hey, put bombs on your head and run toward the enemy. That's just not how we see things. But they do see things like that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Full
Hmm.
throttle.
So that makes things bad. And that's foreign soil too. So that's not good for us, man.
I seen this girl on TikTok, Plat. She crying because she was on that flexing and she just signed up for the army. They gave her that bread, got a nice little spot, nice car. Man, she gotta go to war. She like, man, I ain't signed up for this. Well, yes, you did, sweetheart. You did.
Yeah.
You gotta go. She like, I don't want to go. If you don't
What did
go,
she sign up for? A free check and a car?
that's what everybody's saying. They like, sweetheart, what you think? If you don't go, you're gonna go to jail. They got a special prison for you people that don't want to go. You don't follow directions. Go ahead. They got jail for you.
Yeah. All you gotta do is just put her car somewhere and go do her little 7, 8 months, man. Watch her back, follow orders, and come on back here.
She wanted that bread.
Yeah,
Don't
but
work
I
your way.
wonder, I wonder, I wonder will they be kicking brothers out for razor bucks right now?
They probably still are.
Mm.
Yeah, let me get my day started. Holler at you, Plat. Holler at you, fellas.
All right,
Free
brother.
still up here.
All right,
Y'all
Take
then.
fellas
care,
enjoy
bro.
y'all day. All
Take
right,
care,
Plat.
Joey.
Yeah, play. I'm still, about this Breakfast Club thing, man. I still don't understand what's so bad about the Chitlin circuit. I mean, seemed like they
Yep.
convinced us there was something was wrong with it, and we even started to criticize and ridicule ourselves for being in it because we're supposed to, take it to another so-called quote another level. But then at the end of the day, when you fall off, you go right back to the Chitlin circuit that
Hmm.
had your back for the whole time.
Yeah.
You know,
Mainstream has always dangled that carrot for any black entertainer artist that crossover. And if you cross over, things will be so much better. When within the black community, you're accepted. Yeah, you're not gonna make as much, but guess what? We love what you do, and we're gonna support you. We're loyal. We're gonna help you. We're gonna support you. Now we ain't gonna be able to support a whole lot, but we'll do it. And black entertainers have said, "Hey, I'll take the carrot," and they run a risk, man, because when they're not well received in the white community, they become useless and worthless. Then they burnt their bridges in the black community. They have no value, and that's what you're going to see with the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club is flopping. I don't care. Netflix can say whatever they want. Breakfast Club is flopping. Eventually, Breakfast Club is going to wind up back on YouTube or a version of it, and it's not going to be the same.
hey, you remember a young brother named Spoken Reasons that was on YouTube? It was a YouTube comedian.
Nah, but go ahead.
Yeah, he was really big on YouTube doing skits, and he wound up getting a deal, and we ain't heard from him since. So he's a perfect example of somebody who went over there who's supposed to have been leveling up, and that was it, bro. We never heard from him since. I have no idea where he is now. But like you said, someone like a Frankly Beverly who stayed on one side of the fence, he was able to have a 30, 40 career all the way up until he
Yeah,
passed away.
yep. beloved.
Yeah,
Man, you could raise Frankie up right now from the dead and he'd sell out.
exactly. They
Frankie
said
was
at his
on
last show.
BT.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think they put him on BT. They gave him like 7 minutes. They gave him a ridiculous amount of time. They treated him way better than they treat these other guys. People wanted to hear him. And when you talk about new stuff, Franklin, really, where's this new? Franklin made a bunch of songs, what, in the 70s, 80s? I don't think he made a new album forever.
yeah,
We Are
yeah,
One.
yeah. We know his classics. You know, like at the end of his career, the fans used to sing
we
the songs for him because he couldn't even
yeah.
sing
We
anymore.
are one. We are one.
Uh,
It's my joint there, bro. Joy and Pain. That's my joint. Yeah, man. That's just that's them songs right there. And we brought it up yesterday doing one of the war streams, and the white people didn't know who Frankie Beverly was, and that just shows you the difference. They didn't know who Frankie was, and then I brought up Johnny Taylor. They don't know who Johnny. See, Johnny Taylor, that's a black artist. He's never going to be mainstream.
yeah.
He's not trying to be mainstream. He's just going to be a regular black artist, and he's happy with that. Loretta Devine, she's happy with that, and that's what Charlemagne is, and that's what the problem is. He wants to be something he's not. And some people saying turning your back on your people. Yeah, that's what Charlemagne. That's what they saying.
But play he's actually done some other things and it all has failed. Remember, he had his own shows. He actually had a show, and they all failed. The only thing that was holding them up was the Chitlin circuit, was the people on this side of the fence. So I don't know why they think going somewhere else would be anything different. You know what I mean, what happened to the brilliant idiots? The thing he had with the comedian.
No,
He
they
was
still going on. They still going on.
yeah, but who?
I don't
I
like
don't
I
know.
don't like their show though.
Yeah, like anything else he done other than the Breakfast Club, I haven't seen any success out of it. So why do they think this one was going to? How do they think this one was going to be anything different? I mean, what is his
I don't know.
actual talent?
None. They don't have no talent now. They have no talent. We got the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club got signed to Netflix. Netflix paid $200 million to iHeart. Breakfast Club's no longer really on YouTube other than clips. They're number one podcaster on Netflix. On Netflix. They failed. Charlemagne failed. He also betrayed the black community because the black community needed him. And at a time when they needed him, he went after money. How can you say you're happy with that?
So if he fails, also his political commentary, because remember he had presidential candidates, he was interviewing with them, and he was one of the only urban, stations or channels that was actually getting the interviews uh, with prominent presidential candidates. So what happens if he fails? What happens with that? Do they find someone else to interview, or we just won't have access to no politicians anymore?
Man, I don't know. I don't know, Freeze. But go ahead, Freeze.
So I'm just saying, other than him, who else was the presidential candidates interviewing with on on an urban circuit? I can't think of anybody else.
Probably none of them.
I don't think it was. I'm thinking
Yeah,
of Roland, but I can't even see Roland. Roland.
yeah, Kamala stuck her head in the door in a couple of places, but nah, nah, she spent no time with the people.
Yeah, man. So now because if he fails, we're cut off from that access to even hear the lies. Like this is getting ridiculous, man. Because they wasn't
You're
showing
right.
up for rolling.
And you know what? We made the turn, Freeze Pop. You, Joy, thank you guys. Free
Okay.
Zone, we ain't seen them. And they're not sending out our notifications, man. If you can, make sure you hit the notifications. Right now, during this war, we're going to really focus on those topics. We want to help the troops, and we're keeping up with
Yeah.
that. But we're going to go back to our pop culture. Believe me, we're going to go back to these type. We got game coming up. We got lots of game, lots of game. So like the stream, man. Support the platform. Hit the cash app.
All right, bro.
All right, brother.
All right,
Hit
bro.
the,
Have a good weekend, bro.
all right, brother. Hit the
Peace.
cash app. Hit the super chat. Hit the cash app. Hit the super chat. We got Easter coming up. Get your shit together, man. Come on, man. We got Easter coming up. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?